Hurkun okkur trap sonsun Trap sonsun trap donsun Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булан Даалж дуулан дур булан мууруулаа
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. We have a great all-star lineup. Vince, make sure your thing's on. We got Alan Jouban coming off a huge knockout over Ben Saunders. That was an amazing fight. Jesus.
Thank you, man. Good to be here. Thank you.
Vince is here. He's got a fight coming up June 1st in Utica against Gregor Gillespie, undefeated. We're gonna spoil this guy's run, and also Weendawg working on his rap album.
The star of the show right here, baby.
Relax. Okay, so
I see what's going on here.
I want to thank our sponsor, Speedweed. Listen, if you guys need marijuana, okay, you need it delivered. Speedweed. They deliver all over California. They got the best vapes, best topicals, best flower, best CBD oil, marijuana. If you're hurt and you got CBD, rub it on you. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So I want to thank our sponsor.
It is amazing.
Speedweed.com.
You could hear the paper bag.
Mention Roasted and you get $10 off $100 or more.
What's in there? Donuts or weed?
Also, Amazon. If you guys shop on Amazon, go to adamhunter.com first, okay? Then click on the Amazon banner and then buy whatever you want. It helps me out.
Goodie bag, man.
Helps the sponsor, everything. Yes.
Who's your manager? Who's getting the sponsor? You got Speedweed. You got
Black Buffalo.
Black Buffalo.
Black Buffalo dip.
We got the long cut.
Speedweed.
What else is going on here, man?
Yes.
What's the different colors? It's different flavors.
Now, have you ever smoked pot in your life, Alan?
I have. Yeah. I mean, man, I was a kid. I was like kind of a pothead kid, and then I don't know. I kind of grew out of it, man.
But now,
it's not as productive.
But
I like waking up and saying I'm gonna check all these things off the list every day. And when I'm on weed,
Yeah.
when I'm on weed.
But once in a while, you'll smoke.
Yeah, once in a while, man.
All
After
right.
a fight or something.
Well, have a joint. Have a joint.
Maybe I appreciate it, man.
Courtesy.
Gift bag.
No problem.
Speedweed. Thank you, guys.
Speedweed. And also, if you want an MMA Roasted t-shirt, go to MMA Roasted. Go to adamhunter.com. I got
Honey
new
stick.
MMA Roasted versus everybody.
Dark chocolate.
Is that a honey stick?
Yeah, that's a honey stick. Love me some honey. Honey marijuana.
Is this like a pixie stick? But
Yeah, honey, but it has marijuana. But read what it has on it. It says like
10-to-1 ratio. 600,000 medical cannabis.
This is crazy, man.
And children and pets.
yes. So
Milligrams CBD.
So, getting to the podcast before we get to, I've had a good week. I was in Syracuse, New York over the weekend doing comedy. That was pretty awesome.
Still cold shit out there?
Still cold. It was snowing. John Jones was like sniffing it all up. So that was cool.
I hope it's warm out there when I go.
Before I left, I had a show Tuesday night, right, at the Dime Bar, and there was like 20 people there, and like there were these two black people in the front. And they were like, and it's just funny when guys go to a show together. There's like, there's a seat in between them to show that they're not gay or anything, or they're not like, you always have to do that with your buddy. You know, I do the same thing. It's like, it's also like when you like use
which buddy it is for me.
It's also like when you use a urinal and it's like you're there.
I was about to say, you're gonna skip a urinal when you go pee with a guy.
Yeah, definitely in the urinals.
Yeah, so anyway, so one guy's laughing, another guy just looked so depressed during the show. I mean, he looked like he was like contemplating suicide and then like went to the comedy show to see if it was worth it or not, you know, like, which is what I said. I go, it looks like you're having a terrible day.
Getting his relationship off a comedy show.
Right. And the guy got up to go to the bathroom and I was like, don't do it, bro. Hang in there. So then from the stage, I go, you need to laugh, bro. Whatever it takes, I will get you to laugh.
Oh, you started pointing him out?
Yeah, of course. I was killing him every time. But like, finally I was like, you know what? You need some marijuana. So I whipped out my vape pen and gave it to him from the stage.
Oh, no way?
Yeah. And then he started smoking. And
get out of here.
Swear to God. And then he was laughing. And I was like, that's what got him to going.
Like Dave Chappelle or something walking around with your vape pen on stage.
I got to make him laugh somehow, you know. But actually, the guy came up to me after. His friend was like, "Hey, man," he was just shy. He's like, "I loved it." But his friend was saying, speaking of Chappelle, there was a night that Dave came to the Dime Bar, and this guy and this girl were walking by, this black couple, and I was like, "Hey, just so you guys know, Chappelle's going to be here in 10 minutes." They're like, "Yeah, right." I go, "I swear he will." They sat in the front, and Chappelle came and did an hour.
That's sick, man.
And they said to me, and the guy goes, "Listen, you changed my life. That was the best day of my life. Like, I can't thank you enough." So that was cool. And then I did a show in Syracuse.
You're welcome, guy.
Yeah, I did a show in Syracuse. There was a waiter. There was a waiter with like a handlebar mustache. You know these guys.
Oh,
like,
that's sick.
So I go up for the waiter. He's got a fight coming up in 1927. 7.
Did you bring that up? Did you bring that up because I got the creepy mustache right now? Is that why?
Yeah, I like your mustache. So that was cool. And then it's just funny also, like now that I'm like married, the things that girls say to me are like I was selling t-shirts after my show, and I'm like, what size shirt do you want to this girl? And she's like, whatever make my tits look bigger. And just like shows me her like, and I'm like, this never fucking happened when I was single.
You get hit on more now that you.
Oh yeah, did that happen with you?
I don't know, man. I've been married for a while now. I can't even remember.
You probably don't even know it.
I don't even notice it.
Now, girls think because you're a model, you're going to be an asshole. Do they assume right away that you're a dick?
I don't know. Is that the perception?
Are models assholes?
Well, you always like when you see a
would
girl
think
who's like,
so.
yeah. I mean, not all
I don't
of
think
them.
it'd be more the fighter thing that think people think you're kind of a dick.
Is that what girls
Or
think about
aggressive. Well, yeah, people think I am aggressive, but people naturally think that about me anyway.
you? You're not aggressive.
Aggressive towards women.
No. I'm just naturally just an aggressive person.
They trying to throw them on the way.
No, you seem like actually a very shy guy. You seem like a normal guy.
Yeah.
A pretty normal guy.
Pretty
Yeah, for the most part.
fairly normal, yeah.
Now we'll talk about your fight coming up.
Part of
So
my
you're
plan.
fighting this guy, 4-time All-American, D1 champion. How are we training for him?
I'm training a lot of defensive wrestling.
Yeah.
I know for sure he's going to try to take me out. He's going to throw punches. He uses combos really well to shoot in, so
Yeah.
I expect that from him. I know for sure once I hit him, he's gonna respect the power and then shoot again too. So my game plan is basically defend the takedown, defensive wrestling, and sock him up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do we have good wrestlers in camp?
Yeah, I got some pretty good wrestlers in camp. The main thing is I'm not too worried about him keeping me down. That's not a big issue. Like I'm always able to get up, which is almost honestly kind of a bad thing for me sometimes. That's why I got my ass kicked that one fight, because I was so like almost in my head so cockstrong that I was like, fuck it, I'm getting up, even though I was just getting picked up and slammed every time I got up. So like I'm not worried because I'm always able to get up. You know what I mean? I haven't really wrestled with a wrestler that's able to keep me down like that, especially like against the wall or something. So I'm pretty confident in that aspect of it. But I feel like he's just gonna come in and just try to wrestle fuck me, you know what I mean? And just try to get me pregnant and shit the whole fucking time. So I'm defensive wrestling, and I'm going to plan on fucking landing some shots in his face.
Now, Alan, wrestling isn't your number one thing at the beginning. Now it is.
Easy, man. Come
Now it is. Now it is. But now you're much better at wrestling. But when you first started, you had no wrestling. So what would you?
That was like me, dude. That was like me.
So what would your advice be for? Young
I don't know.
guys?
Where are you at? Where would you rank wrestling in your arsenal? Would that be your lowest skill point?
Yeah, wrestling is definitely my weak link. Well,
Yeah.
let's say I would say offensive wrestling,
Yeah.
not defensive wrestling. Like I'm
Exactly.
pretty good defensive.
And that's what like kind of a lot of people need to understand, like in the fight game, is you don't necessarily need to know a tremendous amount of offensive wrestling if you're more of a knockout guy. You just need to be able to get, like you said, get back to your feet, sprawl when you need to, stuff the head now and then. And then if you're fighting a guy that is a dangerous striker, you could have, your 1 or 2 high percentage takedowns. But sometimes when I go to wrestling classes outside of, I train with Kenny Johnson, boat wrestling at Black House, and so he's been my wrestling coach pretty much as a professional fighter for quite a while now. But when I've gone other places, they've had some really good wrestling, but sometimes they get too much into detail on different combinations or different ankle pick things that I probably wouldn't use. When it comes to wrestling, I'm really looking
I know
for
what you're talking about.
I'm looking for the high percentage shit.
the simple-
Get off
the simple,
cage.
effective shit.
Exactly. Simply high.
That's me too.
High percentage effective. Get off the cage. Get off the ground. Stuff it. Give me a good single leg, good double. Everything in wrestling is chain wrestling. You gotta have a combination. But high percentages, I guess, is what I'm saying when I'm looking for wrestling.
How do you do against Bubba?
I mean, Bubba gets the best of everybody at the end of the day. Bubba will get you, but I feel like I do well against him. He's the kind of guy that I'll sprawl on Bubba, I'll stuff his takedown, but he always finds a way, and this is what great wrestlers do. They get that angle. He's able to, even when I get a good sprawl on him, he's able to kind of creep that angle on the side where he's able to get to your back. A lot of times Bubba will get your back, and I'll kind of 3-point stance or 4-point stance on the ground, kind of tripod up. And then Bubba has this thing where he likes to slam people, and he always kind of warns me. He's like, you better lay down or something. And I kind of always test, like I feel like, man, you're not gonna, because I'll kind of grapevine my leg around his leg so that he can't lift me up and suplex me basically.
Yeah.
He's always trying to suplex people, but that's kind of our thing, man. He usually somehow gets the back on me, and then he threatens to suplex me, and he hasn't succeeded just yet. So we'll see. But Bubba's good, man. Bubba's a tough guy to go against.
Now let's talk about Alan. Your fight, man. You have got to be the most frustrating person to coach in the world. I mean, I watched your fight, and I was jumping up and down. I was going so crazy, and I like Ben Saunders. I'm friends with Ben Saunders.
Yeah, good guy.
But I'm like, even when you had him hurt, I'm like, fuck, please. I'm like, don't get caught. Don't get caught going in.
Yeah.
Now, how hurt were you in that fight?
I was never hurt, like, you know, in the head. It was just my body. Like, I'm in a boot right now. I broke my foot in 4 places, somewhere in the first round. I don't even remember. But my foot always hurts in the fights because being a southpaw and being a kicker, I'm always kicking that inside leg of the orthodox guy. So this is the third time I broke my foot in a fight. But I knew it was hurt. I didn't know it was broken. But honestly, I thought my hand was broken the whole fight. I remember going to the corner in between the first and the second round, and I remember, like, I wanted to tell my coach, I think my hand's broken. But you know, sometimes when you're so focused, and this is the most focused I've ever been in a fight, this particular fight, I didn't want to, like, give up a weakness. I didn't want to show weakness. And so I didn't even tell my coach. I was like, fuck it. If I admit to my hand being broken and I'm kind of showing some sort of weakness, so I didn't say anything. But I remember the second round thinking, fuck, I can't hit him as hard as I want because it's killing me. Oh. So that's when I started going, like, elbow crazy in the second round. I ended up getting the knockout and went to the back and talked to the doctor. And I was concerned about my hand the whole time. It's still kind of jacked up, but turns out
fucking knuckle's pretty big, dude.
Yeah, my knuckle's pretty jacked up. I've been scraping it with
that. Is that shit normally that big?
With that, it's kind of jacked up from like a street fight years ago, but not. It's worse than normal right now. So I've been doing a bunch of recovery lately, man. This fight, thankfully, I got the win because I got fucked up in this fight, man.
Now was this the plan? Like to get into an all-out war with Ben Saunders, or was the plan to, like, be patient, not get hurt, take your time? Like, what was the plan?
A little bit of both, man. It was take him out. That was the goal. Take him out, man. As much as me and Ben have so much respect for one another, it was like this was leave it all in the cage kind of fight, because the last 2 fights that I had lost, I didn't get to show everything that I wanted. And it was frustrating because I got caught early or something happened, and because of that, I had so much shit that I wanted to open up. And so that was the goal of this fight. It was like, you know what? Open up right away. Like, just throw everything at him. Go for it. Be a little bit of the old Alan Jouban, where I was kind of crazy and reckless, where the more modern day Alan Jouban is, or the newer Alan Jouban is a little bit more calculated. But don't be overly calculated where you're not going to throw shit. You know, you
that's
get tentative and you get caught.
It's funny. There was a guy, Luke Barnett, and
Luke Barnett, the tall guy.
Yeah, and he was so sloppy in his fights. Like, but he would get into all-out wars. But he would beat guys that he wasn't supposed to beat because no one could deal with, like, a 6'9" fucking guy throwing all kinds of shit. Then he went to Alliance and they cleaned him up. Mm-hmm. But he started losing fights because people
found something that worked. He had something that worked already.
He lost his fighting style. They changed his
style. Is that something that you kind of deal with?
I mean, I could geek out on this shit. If we open up your speed weed or whatever and we all smoked, I could probably talk about this shit all day. But yeah, it's like a balance, man. It's like a mental thing, because when you're early in your stages of fighting, you're it's still new, and you feel like you got to run into the cage and roar and do all these things. And then once it becomes a routine and it's your profession, you dial that back a bit and you think more calculated, and you start to kind of size up your opponents and look for the weaknesses and look for those openings. And that's what I was doing for a while. And I had a lot of success doing that in my career. But like I said, my last couple of fights, I was too calculated and trying to look for that perfect clean shot too much that I didn't open up. So it's just a balance, man, of doing what got you there in the first place, being that same fighter at a higher level, at a higher calculated pace. But definitely for me in particular, in this last fight, I knew that I was gonna do whatever it was. And as soon as I got punched and I punched him and the fight got kicked off, then I started throwing shit. You know, I feel like a spinning back heel kick or something crazy, and I started letting all those things go that I'd been wanting to do. But it wasn't the goal at the end of the day was not to get in a fight of the night. It was to get a bonus, get a performance bonus. And,
did you get a bonus?
I got a bonus. I got a fight of the night bonus. Nice. In this instance, I was happy that even though the goal, and like I talk about it, like I always write down goals every fight, but even though the goal was to get a performance, not to get into a war, being that Ben was a good guy, I was happy. We both got, some money, so it worked out good. And that's my 4th fight of the night, so it looks good on paper. Like, if I always tell Sean Shelby and them, I'm like, dude, you can count on me, win or lose. And I don't know if I'm proud of this or not, but every loss I've had in the UFC, the guy's gotten a bonus as well. So win or lose, like, I'm either knocking you out or getting knocked out, or somebody's getting a bonus. So, it's always if they know you're an exciting fighter. I don't plan on losing anymore, but at least they know that they want to keep you.
I gotta say, it was a little bullshit. So when Vince won his fight, He shout out MMA Roasted, thanked me.
Oh
the
shit!
The internet went crazy.
You reposted that? Or
Yeah,
something,
of course.
Right? I remember that. That was crazy.
Now, when you won, you shout out your kid. Now, where's the loyalty here?
So
I mean,
lame.
your kid. Does your kid put you on a podcast?
I gotta tell you, man. I got my own podcast. Me and Karen Bryan. I didn't even shout them out, but you would have been somewhere, towards not the bottom of the list. But
Oh wow!
in the
Wow.
3/4 of that means not too bad.
Wow.
You're climbing.
Right under
that was dope. I remember seeing that. Now, man, that was impressive that happened. No, for me, man, that fight for me was I said it, in the post fight speech. It was Cage's, my son named Cage. His first fight he's ever been to, seeing me fight. On me and my wife's anniversary, and it was just all these other things coming off of 2 losses, and I was like, man, what if I got knocked out? If I had 3 losses in my career in a row and I got knocked out, the UFC cut me. Like, my life could have been dramatically different. I could have got cut from the UFC, maybe quit fighting, thought, man, I don't have it anymore, this and this and that. And instead, I got one of the better performances of my career, and everything's back to where it was. So that's why I was kind of emotional.
Oh, it was great. Yeah. I was so proud of you. Now, was your kid crying during the fight? Was he worried? Was he scared?
Dude, he was. No, I mean, he goes to enough fights, like all the CXFs and like the local circuits with me, and I'm cornering guys every weekend. So he's used to fighting, and he watches it every weekend. So he's not like he sees fighting like we see fighting. A lot of people on the outside, they'll look at fighting and say, oh shit, blood. And my son would be like, oh, he's cut over the eye or something, So he sees it in that way. But the emotions of his dad fighting, I would love to have seen, like, a camera, see how he was acting. I would love to see that.
Wait, he came to my wedding and fell in the water fountain and started crying.
Oh my God.
Started crying.
There was a huge fountain at the middle of Adam's wedding during the reception, and we knew it was just like, it was like a magnet for my son to fall in.
So he falls in, starts crying, but his dad getting beat up on TV doesn't.
Yeah, and of all people, you know who saved Cage
Hanato.
from Hanato. Of all people, Hanato pulled my kid out of the water. So who knew? Who knew he had a little heart inside of
So Joe, any new updates on the? I know that you've been. Any Russians, Tinder, anything?
Oh, we can get into that later, but I want to just address that. I had a feeling that this was going to be probably the greatest episode of the podcast, probably ever. You know why?
Why?
Because today is my motherfucking birthday.
All right. Is it? Birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday.
All right. That's awesome.
Happy birthday, brother.
Oh, that's great, man.
22 years old.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
22.
All right.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Nice. You look 40.
Thank you.
So
my facial hair, dude.
it's all good. Congratulations. Now, what are you doing for your birthday?
Nothing.
Awesome.
Nothing. This.
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
Trying out some Black Buffalo, bro.
I mean, I never tried dip before, but Black Buffalo is a sponsor of the podcast, and I thought, I might just try this right now for my birthday.
Okay. Now, any over the weekend, any Tinder dates or anything? Or?
You know what, dude? This is crazy. You ain't even gonna believe this.
What happened?
I went and saw the 50 Shades of Grey movie, dude.
By yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
I went with the Russian girl.
Okay.
Now you guys bring your ladies to this movie.
I never saw it. Yeah.
Vince?
I haven't seen the new one.
I auditioned to play the lead in the first one. Didn't get it.
But I love movies like that like you watch with girls to instantly know that you're gonna bang while you're watching the movie.
Was
That's
it like
true.
that?
It's one of those kind of
That happened with me on Schindler's List.
Bro.
All right, go on.
So I went to the theater with the Russian girl because she keeps texting me every day, let's go see this 50 Shades of Grey movie. I'm like,
all right,
come on, dude. So I go, it's a packed theater, which is kind of shocking because the movie's been out for like 4 months now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we're watching it, it's a sexy movie. The girl, she's hot. There's close-ups of her titties and ass. And
Yeah, were you finger banging her at all or no?
we got to that point. Yeah, she started to get very horny. I got very horny. I started to finger blast her a little bit.
Yep.
Finger blast.
I mean, not because we're in a movie.
Like
This guy fucking kills me, dude.
Go on.
There's people sitting directly next to us.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be discreet, and there's other couples in the theater with
Discreet
blankets
finger
over
blasting.
All right. Now, is she shaved or is it like a whiff?
them. I'm glad you mentioned this, dude. This is a very good detail.
Was she
about
wearing a
this
skirt?
girl. No. She was wearing like jeans or something. I can't remember. Maybe
Right.
yoga pants. She doesn't shave. What? She plucks her vagina hairs out individually with tweezers.
Get the
That's
fuck
a little
outta here,
strange.
dude. That's a little time consuming.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's like
Individually.
it feels like a 3-year-old girl, dude.
Oh, man.
How do you know what a 3-year-old girl
Yeah,
feels?
yeah.
Fucking assuming, dude.
All right, go on.
Which is it's the craziest thing when girls pluck it rather than shave. It's very interesting.
I don't know anyone that does that.
Me neither.
Oh, that's that girl's getting Brazilian waxes, right? Same shit.
Is that what they pluck it one at a time?
They don't pluck one at a time.
Yeah.
They
Fraction
rip it
of
out,
the time.
Except nothing like that. All right, go on.
So I'm finger blasting her. She starts to finger blast me a little bit.
What do you mean she?
Wait, what is she finger blasting on
No,
you?
not like finger blasting, but she's like rubbing me like super fast. I'm like, this is getting kind of insane, dude.
She was finger blasting.
Okay, so she was finger blasting you.
So now we're going at each other during this movie.
You guys are finger blasting
By
each
the
other.
way, this is the worst
Finger
movie of all
blastathon.
time.
Right.
There's a scene where a dude proposes to his wife in a loud ass nightclub. I'm like, who the hell proposed? All right, that's not. Don't worry about that. Has no purpose of the story.
Do you see a ghost or something?
No, go on.
Do you see that?
He like looked up like.
He's like looking around the ceiling and shit.
All right, go on.
So the movie's over. We're horny. I have an erection, and then I take her. I'm driving her home on the 405.
Right.
And this is my move. Whenever I'm driving with a girl, you always just gotta reach over and just grab their leg and just squeeze it like an anaconda. Just squeeze their thigh, dude.
That's your move.
That's my move.
All right.
Like, bitch, you ain't going nowhere.
And is there a move yelling rape? or go on.
No. I always sign contracts. Like,
I always assign contracts.
We sign. All right,
So
go on.
I grab that leg, I squeeze it, and then she goes. She does that biting her lip thing. She goes. I'm like, that's right, girl. This is the Weendawg grip. And so when I got that on her, it's all over. I don't even have to ask. I don't need permission. I just dig my hand right into her panties, dog.
While you're driving on the 405.
While I'm driving on the 405, and she's soaking wet, dude.
No way. With like tears? Okay, go on.
No.
Tears of pain.
So I finger blast her a little bit more while I'm driving, but I'm like, you know what? This ain't enough. I'm a freaky dude. I just seen
50 Shades of Grey.
I just seen 50 Shades of Grey. We gotta bring this up to the next level, dude.
Yep.
So I go in the backside of her. I put my hand down in her pants. Now I have like my whole arm under her body from the backside.
And you're fingering her ass?
Like upside. Well, not
You're
yet.
bowling.
I'm bowling. There it is.
You're
Vinc
like, wait,
Pichel.
you're like Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm puppeteering this bitch.
Right.
So I'm up in there, dude.
Wait,
I'm up there from behind.
Yep.
And I'm going deep. I'm going hard. So she lives like 10 minutes away. So I don't have much time. So I park in front of her house. We get to her house. I park in the front.
And her parents are home?
Her parents are home.
Yep.
I should have parked in the front, dude. This was bad.
Right.
So I parked in the front, and like by the time I got there, all the windows in my 2014 Honda Civic are completely fogged up, dude.
Yeah, okay.
It's getting intense.
Oh, there's your cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? We just got to bang right now. I tell her that.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, because we're in front of my goddamn parents' house. Dude.
Right.
I'm like, all right, I understand. So I said, but gotta suck this dick at least.
You said that to her?
Oh, you
Yeah.
should have just drove next door.
And then she suck your dick?
I mean, gotta remember there's a language barrier, so I have more confidence in me just saying vulgar stuff like this because she has no idea what I'm saying.
You have to say it like that so they know.
Like that's how we do in America.
Okay.
And, she starts to lick the Weendawg, and
So she started blowing you?
yeah, and then
She goes after the ween.
Well, yeah, then I started to finger her ass
Alan,
while.
finger her ass?
Yeah, dude.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And she was all clean and everything?
I don't know. I hope so.
right.
But that's a dangerous move. You've been out with a girl for like a few hours. You know there's gonna be some funk down there.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, you didn't
I
stick
don't
your
even
finger
care
in a
about
pile of
that.
mud.
Right.
I don't care about that at all. If I'm a sick dude, I'm gonna do all that stuff.
Okay.
So I'm in there. I'm in her ass. I'm in her vagina, and it gets to the point where it gets so hot, like both temperature wise and sexual wise. It's getting hot in here. Like, I just gotta bust quickly.
Yep.
So I'm fingering her ass, and I'm like, all right, girl, I'm about to bust. You better capture all of this in your mouth because I just cleaned my seat of the car. My
Right.
car's clean. So she's going hard, and then I just bust up in her mouth, and I'm like, I feel so bad.
Why?
Because I have like after I do things with women, I'm just showered with immediate guilt, dude.
Well, at least you didn't put your, self fingering her asshole and send it to her.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, she didn't ask. If she would have asked, I would have sent her the asshole video.
All right. Well, look, don't feel bad. It sounds like a really nice date.
Yeah. So you guys gonna see each other again, or
Alan, is this how you and your
Sounds
wife
pretty
celebrated
serious.
your win against Ben Saunders?
not every detail. Wasn't a lot of finger blasting going on.
Which I fucking love that term.
I love his choice of words too. That he wanted her to capture all of the, and then he didn't say he said dick and not penis, but
I
then
don't
you
like
said
saying
vagina and not pussy. And
Yeah, I gotta. It's like.
like sometimes
Penis
you're
and
polite, but
vagina.
sometimes you're vulgar.
All right,
Selective-
he's
selective
definitely
vulnerability.
all right. So let's talk about some MMA.
Great story.
Get back on MMA.
Thank you for that.
So all right. So CM Punk announced on Twitter he has an opponent.
He does?
According to him, he's going to be UFC 225. He didn't say who it was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but we
We
don't
kind
know.
of teased
yeah.
it.
Okay.
People are saying Mike Jackson, the guy who got knocked out by Mickey Gall, who's 0-1.
Right.
I don't. To me, it's like I feel like he had his chance. Like, what are we doing? We're just gonna
CM Punk?
Yeah, I know he sells tickets, but I know maybe they're like. Here's my thoughts on it. He doesn't deserve to be in the UFC. He hasn't earned it. I mean, Alan, how many fights have you had? How many amateur fights? They put
Right.
you on the fucking Fight Pass prelims, the first one. Not the Fight Pass, on the FS1 prelims. And a guy like this, they're gonna put him in the main event. They're gonna try to get WWE people to watch. But nobody's going to watch him and then go, now I'm a fan of the UFC. I think we're past that point. People are going to be like, oh, I got into MMA when I saw Forrest versus Bonner. I got into MMA when I saw Tito versus Liddell. No one's going to say, when I saw CM Punk versus Mike Jackson, I was hooked. I mean, it's not going to happen. If he fought the real Michael Jackson, who's dead, I'd watch that. Like, if he actually took the and he might even be a favorite against him. But
I have a question. This Michael Jackson guy, did he got in the UFC with no fights? His
no
first fight was in the
First
UFC.
fight in the UFC. He got
Now who is this guy? How did that happen?
Well, he was.
Is he?
Was he the kickboxer? Wasn't he a kickboxer?
He was a boxer.
A boxer.
And he's a strong-looking guy, but he was like 4-2 as an amateur. I guess he's 2-0 as a boxer, maybe. No.
Yeah, I don't know his story that
No
much.
MMA.
Yeah,
He's
why?
from Houston. He's also a reporter. And like he lost his fight to Mickey Gall, got knocked out, and then went back to reporting 10 minutes later on like press
He
row.
reported his own knockout.
Yeah, I'm not even. He interviewed himself. But
How do you feel, man? Fuck you.
CM Punk might beat this guy. I hate to say it. I like Mike Jackson, but in jiu-jitsu, he might. But is that fair? Is this? I know life isn't fair, but can we just buy ourselves into the UFC now?
To me, it's not fair, but at least CM Punk, like, people know who he is and he sells tickets. This Mike Jackson guy, like, who the fuck is he? Why did he? You know what I mean? What got? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I kind of agree upon that one. I for some reason I don't mind, man. I don't mind the CM Punk thing just because that's kind of where we're at in the UFC. I guess I've accepted it now. In the beginning, I probably didn't agree with it right away. But, today's UFC, we kind of have, just going for who sells tickets, the big money fights and whatnot. And I do, though. I got to disagree with you on one thing. I do want to see CM Punk get a second chance because when he went against his only fight was against Mickey Gall, correct?
Yeah.
Mickey Gall just played his cards right, man. He rushed him, took him down, dominated him, took him out of there. Made it a horrible night for CM Punk. As much as he said, like, I loved every minute of it or whatever, I don't believe that, man. That was hell. He got beat up. But I want to see him, like, move around. I want to see, does he have something to offer? I know he's not on that level.
There's other organizations for that.
There is other organizations, but the UFC, they're looking for what's gonna capture the viewing audience, and apparently he did some numbers.
But I think it's going to turn off.
Back.
I think it's going to turn off a lot of people more than it's going to.
I think so too. I think it brings a little bit of the circus aspect of it as well. But I mean, look at the other organizations. I mean, you can't compare CM Punk to some of the crazy shit that Bellator does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the organizations are doing that. You go to Japan. I mean, look at the stuff they have.
The Gabby Garcia.
Yeah,
versus
grandma's
old ladies.
fighting Gabby, and so every organization is kind of doing that these days.
But
That's why I say it could be worse.
Yeah.
He makes the company money.
Well, that's what I think the UFC is scared of is that Bellator signing CM Punk and then all of a sudden them getting the views. That's what they're going with.
Yeah,
but
it's curiosity, man. Even me, like, I'm just curious to see how he does.
The Lakers wouldn't start CM Punk.
No.
The Lakers wouldn't all of a sudden. Stephen Colbert wants to play for the Knicks. He's not going to fucking play.
Yeah.
He'll get viewers.
It takes a hit at the legitimacy of it. It makes it not as legitimate. I agree, but the difference in those sports, and I've always said that, is like. All the other sports, it's a sport. It's a team aspect, and there's props, there's balls, there's things like that. Fighting is something that everybody has a chance. As much as CM Punk would probably not have a great chance against a seasoned professional fighter, there is always the puncher's chance, the literal chance that he could, anything could happen in a
there's a chance
fight.
that LeBron James twists his ankle.
But
and then
a lot less likely. If I play one-on-one with LeBron James, he'll probably win 100 times out of 100. But if I got in a street fight against somebody, they'd have a lot higher percentage chance of winning one fight against me. So you know what I'm saying? So in fighting, there's always anything could happen, especially in MMA with its different aspects.
And plus, in fighting, you don't really. There's no way to really know how good someone is. Like you can have someone train, watch someone train, and that's not like fighting someone who's actually fighting you. Know what I mean? Like so it's different. So you don't really know. And who knows? CM Punk could have came out and been a badass, could have wrecked Mickey Gall, but he didn't obviously. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. I ran into my buddy on a different note over in Syracuse, my high school before I wrestled for half a semester in college, but the first day I went there, I was this big shot from my boarding school. I was like this, 4-time whatever, and I go up against.
Were you really though?
Oh, yeah, the biggest ever. So then this guy that was like the 118 pounder, I was 134. He was ranked 3rd in the country at Division III and beat the fuck out of me.
Oh, really?
Like he'd been down like 60 times
But he
in
was
a row.
probably super quick, man. Like
He-
probably just couldn't stuff it.
He was ranked 4th in the world in like Greco-Roman.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I never been beat by a
Freestyle.
fucking smaller
You were all
guy.
freestyle, though.
Yeah. I went collegiate wrestler, folk style. But a month later, after being in the room, I was able my last day of wrestling before I quit, it was me against him, right? And I knew he had like a bad knee, I kept
You did
going
not.
for it.
Here we go.
I did.
Here
I
we
was like,
go.
fuck it, I'm like winning this, right? Because at the time, that's how competitive I was as an 18-year-old. I'm like, so I ended up taking him down and beating him in practice. But I've held on to that for like 25 years. I'm like, what a fucking asshole I was. They're
That's why it was your last day. You're like,
this
fucking
is my
retiring champ.
This
fuck
was my
you guys.
fucking teammate,
And now you have the bad knee.
So now
did you ever get that fixed?
I got it fixed.
Yeah, he got it fixed.
But I ran into him. He came to my show, Jason Goldman, and he's still wrestling. He actually won the worlds in
Look at that.
the senior division. He's 42. He's still wrestling.
Really?
He's getting in the way of some of his relationships. But yeah, he's like,
God damn,
he's on like the veteran circuit,
Yeah.
and he like won in. Bolivia, whatever, and Serbia. So we went out for dinner, me, him, and his dad. And I was like, hey, man, I got to tell you, that last practice before I quit, I went for your knee. I'm sorry, man.
He spilled his beans.
Yeah,
he
I
confessed.
apologize. I go, that was a shitty thing for me to do, man.
Yeah.
The guilt got you, huh?
Yeah, he started laughing. He's like,
What weight class does he wrestle at now? Do you know?
he wrestles at 126. And
Damn, he's 42 and he's still
Damn, he's still a little guy.
staying that
little
low.
guy, and he travels the world. He does the veteran circuit, which is 35 and older.
Wow.
But it's a hard life, man. He has to fundraise.
Damn, so I would be in the veteran circuit as well.
Yeah, but he has to raise like $4,000, and then he goes over there to like Turkey or whatever and wrestles old guys, and I'm like, fuck, that's a tough life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's not much money in it, and there's more money in MMA. But I was telling him about Pico, about how good Aaron Pico, and I was like, yeah, I'm Pico, but my friend trains with him. He's like, yeah, but we lost Pico from wrestling. I didn't even look at it that way. Like I thought,
Meaning that he's no longer representing the
He's an
sport.
MMA now.
yeah, now he's in
yeah.
MMA. I was like, wow, that's.
But I
actually,
mean, like you said, man, you hit the nail on the head. It's a money thing. I mean, there's not much money in wrestling, and
there's no money.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jordan Burroughs and you're the number one guy in the
you're getting
world.
the sponsors and everything.
And even that, I wonder how much money Burroughs would have got versus if he went to the UFC.
Yeah, but he's been kind of teasing at coming to fight in MMA, huh, Jordan?
He'd be good.
Was that him? I
Yeah,
saw some
yeah.
wrestlers talking about it recently.
Yeah, he'd be good. Now, what do you think about Chuck Liddell coming back?
My God.
I don't want to see it, man. I'd rather see CM Punk sign a 10-year contract than see Chuck come back. You know, I don't love seeing that, man. I don't love seeing the old guys. I do appreciate when guys are up there in age and they're still doing their thing, because I'm a guy that's getting up there in age when it comes to the today's age of that.
But you started late, though.
What's that?
You
I started later in my career, correct? Yeah. So, but guys that are past their prime and they've already suffered enough knockouts and this and that. I don't want to see him come.
And you
back,
see
man.
Chuck at like fights, and he's limping. Like he's not exactly like. I mean,
Yeah.
like you see Tito now, and Tito looks like he's in great fucking shape.
Yeah, Tito's still, he's not in his prime, but he's still competitive.
And
Chuck is not competing or anything.
By the way, they
Or not training hard.
They just set a fight that I'm actually looking forward to. I hate to say it, in Bellator next week. So that James Gallagher came out, and now it's Ben Henderson versus Roger Huerta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw
So
that.
where did Roger come out
Yeah,
of?
where-
He's been in Phuket for like the last 5 years.
But he won his last two fights.
Oh, so he's still fighting actively, but over there.
He beat.
Oh, he's in one.
He beat Hader Hassan.
Oh,
He
okay.
actually but I guess it was by disqualification or something. But yeah,
I forgot.
Hey, man, win's a win.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
He so he's been fighting actively in one of those
yeah, like ONE FC.
one
or-
FC,
yeah.
one of those type of organizations, and
I
so they
haven't
brought
seen
him
him
back.
since he left Bellator, I want to say, honestly.
Huerta.
Yeah, I haven't like.
I saw him on TMZ when he beat up a bully. You see
Yeah, that's when
that
he got
was-
kicked out of UFC.
No, it was like way after that.
In the street?
Yeah.
In the street when he beat up some guy.
No, he got kicked because of that.
Really?
That was a dope video.
It was
too,
part of the reason why I got that and something else, but that he got kicked right because of that.
All the
wow.
ladies already loved him, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then he kind of defended that girl's honor,
Yeah.
and just slept that dude in the street.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
After that, he was getting all the
Yeah,
vagina
in
as
Texas.
Weendawg.
Yeah.
Vagina?
Yeah, he was probably
Vaginas?
Forget it.
We're just
he woke up.
checking our...
He heard the magic word.
Someone say vagina?
Now, I gotta
Weendawg.
say, the fight that I'm looking forward to the most coming up has got to be Tony Ferguson versus Khabib. Just because
too.
That's a good one, but I got a different one.
I'm going over in my head who wins, and I can't seem, because I know like Khabib, right, looked unbeatable. His last two fights, especially the Michael Johnson fight and the fight after that. I mean, Barboza, that was like he was winning like 10 rounds, 10-4. I mean, it was insane. But then I think Khabib's biggest thing is getting you down, and Tony off his back is so dangerous.
Yeah.
So
And his wrestling's really good too. Like he is really good wrestling.
college wrestler. I mean,
Yeah.
but not at Khabib. I mean,
No,
those
yeah.
Russian wrestlers are just it's
Yeah.
like a different strength.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate on this one, and Tony's my guy. But just to kind of mix up the conversation, this is the thing. If I was breaking this fight down on paper, which paper you can just throw that shit away and burn it a lot of times because I'm the type of guy that, like, you know,
Yeah.
paper doesn't show heart, chin, you know, all these things. But on paper, Tony's a good wrestler, but Khabib. Look, Kevin Lee was out wrestling Tony. If you look at it, you know,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Kevin Lee took down Tony like 4 times in that fight. Khabib is probably the best grappler that we have. So I think he wins that matchup. When it talks about ground and pound, I've never seen anybody with that active of a ground and pound. The way that he did that to Barboza and held him down and just stayed busy on top of him the entire time. And Tony is a great grappler, but he's not really known for his guard game. He's not really an off the back type of guy, to be honest. He trains to the planet, but doesn't really have a great rubber guard.
Have you rolled with him?
Yeah.
What's it like rolling with him?
He's the kind of guy that he's probably going to be on top a lot of times. He's probably going to be looking for darces and whatnot. From the bottom, he's dangerous, but he's not known for that. He's not.
Has he ever tapped you from the bottom?
I don't think so. And I mean, and maybe he has, but I can't remember it, and I don't ever remember that being a threat. But with that said, he's the kind of guy. He's got a wrestler's mentality that he's looking to ankle pick you get on top. He's not really looking to play from the bottom. I think Kevin Lee just had a fucking brain fart when he gave him that triangle.
I think Kevin was.
With
I
that
think
said,
fatigue got to him.
Oh,
yeah. The most intriguing thing about this fight to me, though, I think Khabib takes him down. I think Khabib lands ground and pound. Tony Ferguson's ability to scramble. He's so good at scrambling and Granby rolling and finding ways to get to your feet or to sink in the darts with those long arms. I think that's kind of Tony Ferguson's X factor. I don't see Tony out grappling him or throwing up submissions from the bottom. I see him scrambling and creating opportunities from those scrambles.
So who do you think wins? After all that, that was like
There was no point.
I feel like I'm talking to my lawyer right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know.
Are we gonna win this case or not? Like,
Sorry, I don't know. I thought you were filming, so I just wanted to look really good.
Go on.
I think that if I had to put the Vegas odds on it, I would put the money on Khabib, but my heart's gonna lie with Tony on this one, so I'm gonna go with Tony. Yeah,
Is your heart because he's a 10th Planet guy?
The 10th Planet guy, I've trained with him, I know him, and I know that he does have that X factor that he can create shit, he can create open. Look, I never thought of Tony of having any type of guard game, to be honest, before his fight with Kevin Lee, and when he threw up that triangle, I was like, oh shit, he's evolving, man, because every time I've rode with him, he's using those long arms, like I said, darces and everything else, but now he's throwing up triangles and he's doing other stuff, so he's got that crazy style of training, and he uses that. You know, you see a lot of guys do crazy training, and you're like, why are you doing that shit? Because they won't use that in a fight. But Tony actually does weird shit in training, and he does weird shit in the fight, and he's good at it in both instances.
Now, okay, so let's say Khabib's wrestling and Tony's jiu-jitsu cancel each other out. So now it's a battle of on the feet.
Yeah.
On the feet, I give it to Ferguson.
I do too. I think
Yeah.
that they both have kind of a blitzing, aggressive style. Like Khabib will just rush in with some big hooks and shoot the takedown. But Tony does the same thing, man. Tony will just use his long ass arms and throw from the hip. He throws punches from the hip sometimes, man. Like you don't see him coming from low, and he lands them, man. And he'll just walk forward with those punches. Tony's gonna have a much longer reach, and I could see him cutting up Khabib on the feet, man.
So you're picking Tony, and then Vince?
I'm actually going to pick Khabib.
Back that shit up.
Okay, so this is my thinking. I honestly agree almost 100% with everything you feel about the guy. So
Hit real quick, man.
I think that if it stays standing, Tony will pick him apart, and if he could stop him from taking him down, I think Tony would definitely win the fight, and I honestly think he'll win it easily if that's the case.
If Tony can't get taken down.
Yeah.
But you think Tony's going to get taken down.
But I don't think Tony's going to be able to stop him from taking him down.
It's a 5-round fight, though.
Yeah, it is. And
does Khabib slow down? I can't remember.
No.
Third round? No. I mean, I know on the ground and pound he stays active, but the gas tank overall, he stays pretty.
Yeah, he's got a good tank. He's pretty fit. So, and if I see him if he takes Tony down, I don't see them getting back up at all.
Yeah.
Like, I feel the same way about Tony's guard, where Khabib's not gonna respect it. He's just gonna stand there and throw punches on him. You know what I mean? Tony's gonna try to get up. He's gonna take him back down. He's gonna attack wrestle like he always does.
But how effective is his sambo versus jiu-jitsu?
I think he knows how to stay out of danger, man.
Yeah.
I don't see him making that bonehead mistake that Kevin Lee. No offense, Kevin Lee, but I don't think he's gonna give him a triangle like that, man. I don't think so
either.
He knows the positions way too well.
Yeah.
He's too
dominant.
Draw.
Really?
I'm calling it right now, dude.
It's very possible.
It's possible.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
really think about it. Not like I've done. But it could be a draw.
Well, I mean, like, this is another thing. Have we seen Khabib in a 5-round fight before? I can't remember.
No.
I mean, has he main evented a fight?
No, never.
He's not even main evented in UFC.
There's never been a title shot.
I feel like Khabib's he only fights once a year or whatever. But he also, I feel like he's always like the guy on pay per view, the Coco main event kind of guy.
And when's Ramadan? And I'm not even being like funny with it, like because he fasts during Ramadan, right?
Well,
I think he was supposed to fight a 5-round fight against Johnson, right? But then he ended up subbing him.
I don't think he fights during that time.
No, he was just punching him in the face, going like talking to him, like
didn't he have the Kimura on him? And the ref stopped it. Who was it? John stopped it, or whoever the ref.
I think
he submitted him. I think it
wasn't that supposed to be a
submission.
5-round fight? But it just didn't go.
No, that was New York. He was like the Coco main event. That was 205 or something, I think. But that's the thing, man. He has such a huge weight cut. The guy barely can make weight. And this fight, this would be for a title, so he's got to make 55, not 56. And he already has a tough weight cut. And so this would be 5 rounds. So these are the championship rounds where we would see that tough weight cut come into place. So since we're doing our research here, I'm gonna go with Tony, man. He's got the scramble X factor, and he's got the 5-round ability. Tony Ferguson fought at below sea level in Mexico City against what's his name, RDA.
Yep.
And just looked like a monster. Never slowed down for 5 rounds. Was breakdancing when the 5th round bell rang. If he could do that shit again, man, I think it ups his chances against Khabib. But I agree, man. I feel like Khabib definitely going to take him down. It's just, to me, it's all about, can Tony get back up?
Well, I got to talk to you guys about something very important. 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. I know I have. And the thing is, when you start noticing your hair, it's too late. At that point, forget about it. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backward? Any bald spots yet? Trust me, I get hairs that grow in. One of them, I'm like, what are you visiting? Is this like a reunion or something? Listen, do you want a bald spot to pop up, or you want to do something about it first? Listen, guys, go to forhims.com, which is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skin care, sexual wellness for men. I'm telling you, Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. It's all about science. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. You get no waiting room, no awkward doctor visits. You don't have to lie to your girl. Where are you going? I'm going to the strip club. I'm telling you, listen, it's so easy. You answer a couple quick questions. A doctor will review and prescribe you. Products are shipped directly to your door. So, order now. My listeners get a full trial of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. Go to their website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or to a pharmacy. forhims.com/roasted. That's forhims.com/roasted. Take care of that hair loss, guys. Take care of that erectile dysfunction. Take care of that skin.
Before it's too late.
Yes, this is for you, Vince. Okay, I
know. Me and my brother always talk shit about losing hair and stuff.
Oh,
dude.
It's the worst. I'm telling you. Everyone always tells me how big my forehead is, or like you could project a movie, or like Team Alpha Male fucking.
That's a good one.
Team Alpha Male trains on my head. I get it all the time.
What did I give you one? Oh, I get the Mega Mind one.
Yeah, the Mega Mind. I get like Misha Tate's ass was like made on my head, or John Jones. I know John Jones snorted lines of cocaine off my forehead. I hate it. Okay, forhims.com. Also, people, I wear contact lenses and always find myself dreading that annual appointment to renew my prescription. That's why I'm excited to try Simple Contacts. I love it. It's a great new app that makes this dreadful process very, well, simple, as in Simple Contacts. Listen, Simple Contacts let you renew your prescription and reorder your brand of lenses from anywhere in minutes. You don't have to go get an appointment and then go to the doctor and then cancel whatever. No, they take care of it. They bring the doctor's office to your home. The vision test is designed by doctors, and every test is carefully reviewed by a doctor. Simple Contacts offers every brand of lenses, and their prices are unbeatable. The prescription is just $20, and shipping is free. And best of all, my listeners, yes, you people, at MMA Roasted, you get $30 off their first Simple Contacts order.
Dang.
So to save $30 on your lenses, go to simplecontacts.com/MMA Roasted and enter my code, okay? MMA Roasted at checkout. Again, that's simplecontacts.com/MMA Roasted. Enter code MyRoasted at checkout. Give it a try and thank me later.
Do you wear contacts?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's because I'm telling you, I'm just so good at it's just so natural. Everything's just so natural when it comes to me. Yes.
Did you see the footage of Misha Tate training with a full baby in her belly?
Really? No. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did you see that,
She
Alan?
was hitting pads. Yeah, it's funny they labeled it like Misha Tate was sparring, but she was doing some
good.
pad work.
Okay,
But yeah, she's big, man.
It's actually bigger than John Dotson. That's how big.
It looks like she looks very pregnant right
Yeah,
now.
she's
She's got to
big.
be.
Now, would you sleep with her even though she's pregnant?
Dude, I'd sleep with any girl if they're pregnant.
Any girl?
Hell yeah.
Why any girl?
Because there's nothing more beautiful than a pregnant, I'm talking like 9-8 months pregnant woman, dude. There's nothing
damn.
more beautiful.
Really?
Hell
Stay
yeah.
the fuck away from my wife. You
I gotta
fucking-
admit, I kind of got a little thing for pregnant girls too, but not like that pregnant. Like if they have a cute little belly, like that's cool. But
Huh.
Dude, I seen this porn today, dude.
Yeah.
It was where this dude was with a very, very overweight woman, and he had a can of like the whipped cream, the compressed whipped cream,
yeah,
you know?
the Ready
Yeah.
Whip.
And he put it in her ass, and he sprayed like the entire can in her ass, dude.
Yeah.
And then it was just like a volcano, dude, just spraying whipped cream out of her ass.
And then what were you doing during this porn?
I was just looking for a good porn to watch. I just came across it. I seen
Playing guitar.
Yeah, I just seen this dude.
I love
put
your
a-
fucking videos you've been posting too, by the way.
Oh, the
Yeah, no, you have.
follow this guy?
This dude has.
Just
Weendawg.
show you some of this shit.
I have to honestly when I'm on the road I watch porn, but then I have to stop a day or two before I go home because I have to save it for my wife.
She'll know.
Yeah. No, not only that. Just I need it for my wife.
off to?
Like, what about you? You have to save it up for your wife, right?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah.
Yeah, because then I feel
guilty.
I feel guilty if I don't want to sleep with my wife, and she's like, and I went 6 days in a row watching porn because I feel like in some ways, it's hard. Anyway.
Oh shit! It was your story, not your actual post.
So,
I think it was your story.
But
And being on TRT makes you just so much more horny, dude.
are you on TRT?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on that?
Why are you on TRT?
Yeah. Why? You're fucking 22.
I'm not like vetoing it. It's because my doctor said I have naturally super low testosterone.
Yeah.
You're 22 years old.
I know. So I have to put like this gel on my armpits, and ever since I've been doing that, you can see this facial hair just started to sprout out, dude. It's kind of
Dude, give me some of that stuff.
I'm almost out, dude. I gotta get a refill. I mean, it's not gonna get you muscles or anything like that. It's just to get me right where it should be.
Oh, okay.
All right. We're calling a guy right now, the Monkey God. You know who the Monkey God is?
Don't have a clue.
Monkey God.
Jared Brooks. Is this? Let's see if we can call him right now. All right, here we go.
Little Marshall.
Monkey God.
Monkey God, yes. He went off on Sean O'Malley recently on Twitter. He doesn't like O'Malley. Monkey God, 313.
How can you not like O'Malley after that fight, dude?
I'll tell you.
He's a fighter.
You know Sean O'Malley. He's a guy who he's like got the tattoo.
He was just dressed like
smoking
fucking
weed
that dude on
with
Tekken.
with,
Monkey got to fight it too.
Yeah, Monkey God doesn't like him. Hello, Monkey God.
Oh, Jared Brooks.
Hello.
Now, if you leave your name and number,
Oh, shit.
I will be happy to get back with you. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
We don't
Is
leave
not
messages.
available.
All right, hold on. Call him right now again.
Tone low. can
So
nobody say.
there we go. Yeah, no, he was pissed at a Brooks because this is what he tweeted.
Because he was.
No, he wasn't too pissed at Brooks. He was pissed at
O'Malley.
O'Malley. That's what he wrote. He goes, he said, boom, boom. So he doesn't like O'Malley. O'Malley, there was a boxer that said he wants to join the UFC. The guy that Mayweather things. The guy's 18-0.
Yeah.
Really good boxer. I've watched his fights. He's actually really good.
He does jitsu, doesn't he? Though.
Does that guy do
Someone said that
jiu-jitsu?
he's like a purple belt or something.
Oh,
okay.
wow. Well, then this dude legitimately is really good, right? So
Or maybe it was someone else.
So O'Malley tweets, in 3 or 4 years, I'll be busting up Gervonta A, the guy's in a super fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Gervonta responded back to him like something like, I'll kick your ass or something, you bum.
Yeah, they go back and forth for a while.
And then Jared Brooks writes, you're only getting publicity for smoking weed and getting a knockout against a pud. I want to see what it's like to get hit from you because I just see you want money and not the real shit, motherfucker.
Oh, damn.
So,
I like it.
do you like it?
I thought it might have been something about him doing the interview on his back or whatever.
Well, the guy couldn't stand.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Well,
All he had to do
what
was throw
the-
some leg kicks and the fight would have been over.
I know.
Oh, no, that other guy that had the
Yeah.
worst
Yeah.
fight IQ.
He just had to kick him in
Ever.
the fucking foot
Yeah, he
and
made
the
him
fight would have been
messed
over.
up on that one.
Ever.
He had the fight won. The ref would have stopped it. He said you can't continue. You know.
Isn't that his corner's fault, kind of?
I was wondering what the corner was doing. I mean, it was at the end of the day. I think he just had a brain for it, man.
Yeah, that's the fighter's fault at the end of the day because he has control. But
But
yeah, if he would have kicked him in that foot and he would have fell down, the referee would have stopped it. Like you
I'll
can't
show a little
continue.
love for one of my sponsors, Sanibel. Sanibel makes some dope gear, and they actually just picked up O'Malley. O'Malley's working with
I like
Sanibel
O'Malley.
as well now. Yeah.
I think O'Malley.
he's fun. He's an exciting
They got to
fighter.
keep him
Yeah, I
against
like him too.
strikers, though. Like if he goes up against a Caraway
Yeah.
or the guy that just beat Caraway or one of those guys, it's going to be hard
Yeah.
for him because they put him up against Terrion Ware. They put him up against this guy. They have not put him up against a legitimate.
Terrion's got another tough striker fight this weekend
Yeah.
in London. He's on that one.
Yeah, he does. He's
I
out there
would've-
already.
Yeah. I feel like they're trying to build prospects off of Terrion, and hopefully Terrion could build his name off of them. But
Be the
yeah, he hadn't
prospect.
been having any easy matchups. On that O'Malley thing, though, I would have liked to see him stand up at the end, man. Like that was the only thing. Like he did such a good fight, but then like if your leg is looking like Anderson Silva, then you could hang out. But like I fought with 4 broken bones in my foot, and I kept kicking Ben, and I went to Disney World the next day, and I stood up and I walked out of the arena and everything. You know what I'm saying?
But you're
He
also a freak of nature, man.
he
You're,
had a
you're a
bruise.
professional
He didn't-
model,
he didn't
and you
even
go
have a-
and you fight for a living.
But he didn't even have a broken bone, so I would have liked to see him just kind of stand up and do the interview. But other than that, he's a fun fighter, man. I like watching him.
So speaking of this week, we got Volkov. Drago is taking on Verdum. Drago's number 8, but he was just killing it over in Bellator, and he's killing over in the UFC also.
Man, he knocked out Struve.
Yeah.
His last fight, I believe.
Yeah, I think Volkov's going to knock out Verdum.
Oh shit!
right there with you,
He's
dude.
got the reach. You know what's interesting about this fight is the guy in the middle, Kenny Johnson. Kenny Johnson used to work with Verdum. We used to work with Rafael over at Kings and all those guys. But he's also got the Russian connection. The Russians love him. Kenny Johnson's been in Russia for like 3 weeks teaching seminars, wrestling seminars, and he's also is a coach for Volkov. So Volkov's gonna brought in Kenny for this fight. So it'll be kind of funny to have Kenny corner against his old guys that he used to teach his same techniques, getting off the cage against. But man, Verdum's such a killer, such a seasoned vet. But if it kind of to me comes down to if Volkov could just use that good reach and footwork and not let Verdum get the takedown, he could probably use that reach and pick him apart on the end. But man, Verdum surprises me all the time with
He
his striking,
does,
man.
and he
Like-
beats guys that you think he's going to lose to, and loses guys.
and he's an older heavyweight, and he still can jump kick a 6'8" Travis Brown in the head. Like he's surprisingly athletic and stuff still, man.
Who do we like in this fight?
I was liking Verdum because Verdum's just a dangerous guy, but I don't know. He's hit and miss sometimes.
Well, Volkov's won 1, 2, 3. He's won 5 in a row. He beat Struve. He beat Roy Nelson. I was at that fight. That wasn't a great fight. He beat Tim Johnson.
5 in a row in the UFC or just
5 in a row. 3 in a row in the UFC. Tim
Gotcha.
Johnson, Nelson, and Struve. Not the killers, but his last loss was to Czech Congo, and he lost to the Hulk, Tony Johnson. So the loss to Congo kind of raises the little flags.
Yeah.
Because Congo sort of has been like kind of a journeyman.
How'd he lose?
Better than journeyman, but
Probably ground and pound though, because
lost by unanimous.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what Congo kind of turned into. He
But that
turned
was 3
into
years
like
ago,
this striker who now just gets people down and elbows the shit out of them.
Yeah.
That was 3 years ago.
I think he's much better now, man. I think he's like I said, he's been working with Kenny Johnson. His wrestling defense has gotten much better. He's staying on the feet. He's fighting smarter. He put away a big man in his last fight in Stefan Struve. I wouldn't be surprised if he got the job done. I know. The UFC brought him in, like you said, he was kind of hit or miss in Bellator. They brought him in. He had 1 big win or 2 big wins in UFC, and they renegotiated his contract right away. He got a huge pay bump. The guys at Black House were telling him what he got. and he pretty much doubled his money within 1 or 2 wins because they need prospects in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
They need to make that division exciting. So they're kind of hoping that he's that guy over in Russia that could bring that crowd and do stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC is almost rooting for Volkov to win this fight because they've already had their bad relations with Verdum, before, and Verdum's already had his piece of the pie. But I don't know, man. The heavyweight division is so hit or miss. You never can tell. These guys sometimes show up or don't, or one little punch puts somebody's lights out, man.
Speaking of Roy Nelson, so he said recently that Mitriones was cheating on his wife, and he told the press this.
Wait, Roy Nelson said that.
Said that Mitriones was cheating on his wife,
Man,
and everybody was talking about it, and that Crow Cop's on steroids because now he's fighting Crow Cop in Bellator.
Roy
Nelson is.
Roy.
I guess he was supposed to fight Rampage, but now he's fighting Crow Cop. And he said, Crow Cop's on roids and Mitrione's cheating on his wife.
Who knew Roy was getting into the...
Roy's now TMZ.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
Yeah.
Turkey, mayonnaise, and zucchini. But so...
Wait, zucchini?
I don't know.
Come on.
That's a Z.
What else starts with Z? Zebra meat?
Zebra meat.
I eat zebra meat.
I wouldn't be surprised. All right, so Jimmy Manoa is taking on Jan Blachowicz. These are. What do you think?
Who's that guy?
You reminded me of Dana White talking about Cyborg versus who's the girl she just fought?
Oh yeah,
and he
Lena
said-
Dunham or something.
He was happy just to pronounce her name correctly. He had nothing to follow up on it. On that one, I'm gonna go with Manoa. Manoa's a put your lights out type of guy, and especially fighting in his backyard in London.
Yep. Tom Duquesnoy is fighting Terrion Ware.
That's the guy that they're kind of pushing this guy, man. He's a good striker.
Yeah.
I think he's like kind of doing like a little modeling thing as well. I think he's kind of dabbled in that area. But I think the UFC's trying to push that guy. It's funny, man. Terrion Ware, a lot of us know him. He's a SoCal local guy. He's a guy that should have been in UFC a long time ago. He's got like 30 fights or something.
Yep.
He was on like a 5-fight win streak. He has like 4 belts in a lot of the local organizations. I'm happy he got a shot, but man, he went against a wrestler his first fight, got taken down. Probably needed to work on the wrestling. Then they had O'Malley, who they're obviously promoting, they're pushing, and then this is another guy who they're pushing. So again, man, like if Terrion, this is a do or die fight. If he loses, he gets cut. I'm sure 3 losses in a row. And if he wins, he absorbs this guy's momentum. Although this is a London on Fight Pass fight, maybe it doesn't have the viewership that a lot of them have, but this is a good way to steal that guy's momentum. I'm hoping he can do it.
I hope Terrion wins also.
Yeah,
he might. It just his wrestling's been his Achilles heel as well, but this guy's not a wrestler, so that's good. Also Mark Godbeer is taking on Dmitry Sosnovsky. You know these guys? Pass.
Godbeer.
Stevie Ray versus
go
K-John Johnson.
Gotta go for
That's
Godbeer.
interesting. I think Stevie Ray's coming off of his loss to that knockout loss to Irish Dragon Paul Felder. I think that might have been his last fight.
Who's he fighting?
Cajun Johnson.
I haven't seen enough activity.
He's always fighting with your boy Ally Quinta.
Oh, is he?
Him and Cajun hate each other.
Yeah.
They got into a fight at the fight week or something.
Every time
Yeah.
who?
Cajun Johnson and Ally Quinta.
Man, every time I think about Cajun, it was during that not fight week, but that
Ultimate
UFC.
Fighter?
No, but when the UFC brought us all in and had
The summit?
Yeah.
The summit. Thank you. So Cajun Johnson sitting directly in front of me, and they were doing the sponsorship talk. And were you at the thing or no?
No, I had a fight, so I was in New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean you didn't miss much, but this is the one thing that they were just talking to us about sponsors, and they had the head of it was like Budweiser and the head of Reebok there. And first off, the Budweiser guy was completely wasted. He was drunk. It was like 10 a.m. in the morning. And he's just talking about, like, you got to be famous. You got to be a celebrity. If you want us to sponsor you, you got to have a lot. You got to win fights, man. And everybody was pissed off. Because the mood that he was like, pretty much you got to be famous and not lose.
Telling us fucking shit we don't know.
Right. And he's drunk, so it's kind of a lack of respect. And the Reebok guy is there, and everybody is already making evil eyes at him. So, long story short, Cajun Johnson decides this is his time that he's gonna like stand for something and stand up in the middle of this with everybody there, Dana White and everyone's there, and he just kind of like gives it to the Reebok guys. You guys don't pay us enough. I'm losing all kinds of money. This is bullshit. We should all stop wearing it. Yada yada yada. He was escorted out, man, and I thought that was the end of his career. I thought he was gonna be done. I thought the UFC was gonna kick his ass out.
Wow.
From there. They gave him another chance, man. I don't know how much he's fought since then, but I haven't seen him fight since then. He probably has. I just haven't recognized it, but. He was on a slippery slope on that one, man. So he needs to do good and get a big win over Stevie Ray if he wants to keep his relationship with the UFC.
I know he has a podcast, right? And
Cajun does?
Cajun, and my friend, and he doesn't like Ally Quinta. the guy who does the Ally Quinta Realty. Yeah, like that, like that.
The little spoof guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny.
The parody guy. I know who he is. So he contacted him to come on the podcast, thinking he was Ally Quinta. So he came on as Ally Quinta and did like a 20-minute interview.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then
did he talk with the accent and everything? Too?
Yeah, the whole thing. And so then he thought he's like, hey, come out. And then Al's like, that wasn't me, you fucking idiot.
It's funny when you see that though, man. Sometimes like, you're on Twitter and like somebody talks shit and you don't have time to go and check if they're verified or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get into it and you're like, fuck, man, this guy had 20 followers. Like,
but this guy did like a 30-minute interview about like what's wrong with the UFC. He wasn't even trying to be funny. Like he was kind of being funny, but like he sounded nothing like Ally Quinta either. Like he's my friend. He lives in like I don't know the Midwest, and he came on as like trying to do a bad New York accent.
Never even heard a New York accent in his life.
Fucking Cage. Oh, it was funny.
How you doing?
It was so
That's all he
funny.
says.
I'm walking in.
All right. Well, now that the monkey god is not here, we gotta throw peanuts at him. So we're gonna have Sara McMann, who's coming off a tough loss. I think on your card, right, Al?
Yeah.
So we're gonna call her, see how she's doing. Seems like she's doing well. She's in
I
good
thought she
spirits.
was going to be the one that upsetted Ronda Rousey a long time ago.
So did
Wrestling.
I still think she's capable. If they were to fight now, I'd pick Sarah.
Oh yeah, me too. Ronda Rousey's just broken.
But I think Sarah like wins every fight except for like 10 seconds of it and then loses. But she's always winning until she loses.
Oh my god, people still do that shit.
What?
The ring back tone.
But she never she never gets down. I think one fight she got dominated, and that was against the champ, against Nunez.
Oh.
And by the way, Nunez Cyborg. Ugh.
Yeah. What the? Wow.
I think Cyborg's gonna beat her.
I think so
Nunez,
too.
Raquel Pennington.
Oh, well, that first. Yeah, we're all looking over at Pennington too. That is kind of weird, also. So I'm trying to call.
Did they make that already? Is that match made?
Oh God, no one fucking picks up, man.
Never.
So anyway, so yeah, I mean, everyone's just assuming that she's gonna run through Pennington, which is not an easy feat. Pennington's good.
I mean, Pennington's had like a 2-year layoff. She's been in some heavy recovery. Yeah. She had like a broken arm or something for like the longest time.
Her last win was against Tate. It was against Misha. She beat Misha.
How long ago was that?
That was a long time.
It's tough, man, promoting these fights in the women's division unless you have like a Joanna Champ versus Rose, things like that. Those are super intriguing, fun, justified fights. But sometimes with these other divisions, man, it's kind of like, all right, who's the next girl in line? Because there's just not enough girls with momentum, that are killing it right now, man.
Yeah.
I think this is another case of it. Like same thing with the Cyborg fight. What was the girl's name that Cyborg just fought?
Lena Dunham.
Yeah, Lena Dunham. Yana Kunsikaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I apologize to her. I just not familiar with her. I don't know her name, but you could see in the fight that like once Cyborg hit her,
Oh God.
it was like
be in there.
But she almost had a nice low single. She had a nice low and had her back. Like almost, I was like, it was 10.
second.
It was 10-1, and I was like, I was starting to like.
What I saw in her was how many fights did she have? Would she have like around 10 or less
7.
than 10? 7, and you could see that in her. And I'm not talking trash on guys that don't have 10 fights yet, but I'm saying you could see that like she had very strong points at certain areas, but then there was gaps in between.
She's also coming off a dominant loss to Tanya Evinger, who Cyborg just obliterated. So, I mean,
she was kind of turning her back and like kind of giving her back or giving angle.
These girls, I think what happens is like every girl I talk to that fights Cyborg goes, "I've never been hit that hard in my life." But before the fight, they go, "I'm not worried. I train with guys." That's what they always say. I train, and either the guys are not hitting them as hard as they should in practice.
Yeah, the guys are sandbagging.
Or like like it's just.
That's what they're supposed to say. But you know what? Cyborg trains her guys too, and she beats the shit out of them. I see it all the time. So I mean, like,
you see it live?
Yeah.
I mean, when I go,
dudes.
when I go train at Ruka or whatever, I mean, she's in there with like Muay Thai stylists all the time, and she's just charging them, man, just laying it on them, dude. So, I mean,
Fuck.
yeah, I mean, she's a beast, man. It's gonna be hard to find anybody.
I don't
that
know
can
any girl
compete
that's
with
going to beat her, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Now, how do you think she would do against like the champion and the men's LFA champion in her weight?
I don't know about the guy versus girl fights.
But but not the UFC guy. But what about the king of the cage, 135-pound champion or 45-pound champion? How do we think does against Cyborg?
I think she has a chance against a lot of people. I'm not. I don't know who these guys are, but
Yeah, I don't either.
but she's tough, man. She's real tough. I mean, she handles her own against guys all the time. So
That's crazy.
I don't know. You mentioned a fight that you're super excited to come up with. This one, Tony that we talked about. But man, that Dustin Poirier Justin Gaethje fight.
Sarah.
That's gonna be fucking fire.
Sarah? Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Vinc Pichel, Weendawg, and Alan Jouban. Just four cool guys talking to you.
What's up, Sarah?
How are you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Good. You and Alan were on the same card recently. Alan, was Sarah hitting on you? I know sometimes it's hard for...
She was.
Really?
She was,
What happened?
I don't know. She hit on me quite a bit. I know I've seen that she has a daughter. I have a son. Maybe she thought that it was like a
match made in heaven.
parenting type thing. Maybe our kids could hang out.
Oh wow! I'm not surprised. Her nickname should be Thirsty Sara McMann.
I know. I was hitting on all the fighters. It doesn't matter. I'm fishing with a net here.
No, there you go. Now I've been following you on Instagram. It looks like you've been having a good time in life. You were just in the mountains with your daughter and your boyfriend, or is it you guys engaged? Or what's going on?
No, we're not engaged.
Sore subject.
Marriage, but I'm gonna keep this guy around for a while. He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it looked like you guys had a lot of fun. Now, how far did you guys go hiking? Where did you guys go?
So we went to Sequoia National Park, and we couldn't go too far because some of the stuff, there was like 6 feet of snow. Ooh. So some of it was completely blocked off just because it was just dangerous, like, oh, you might fall off a mountain kind of thing. So we had to put like snow chains on the tires just to even get to, it's called the General Sherman. It's like one of the largest, oldest living things on Earth. So, yeah, it was phenomenal. It was like really beautiful. I hadn't even seen any snow this year, so like I needed that season. I'm used to having 4 seasons, so it was like a winter wonderland for sure.
It seems like you're really happy and in like a really good place, and I don't know. It brought a tear to my eye. So thank you for that.
You pussy.
Thank you. That was excellent timing on that one, Sarah. Thank you for that. It was getting a little somber in here. Did you bring your daughter with you on that trip as well? Or it was just adults?
No. It was me, my boyfriend, and my daughter. But
wow,
she was freezing her little butt off. So like the snow was like as deep as her.
I was gonna say, it must have been a rough trip for her.
Drowning it.
Dress her up like Ralphie on Christmas Story.
Her boyfriend is a black belt.
In what?
In jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
Nice.
Very, very tough, tall, good-looking guy.
It's like, how embarrassing.
When you guys fight, do you guys grapple?
Do we grapple?
Yeah, when you guys fight, do you guys just like physically fight? You like wrestle each other?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we do like obviously do. If it's in the room, he plays around with me because he obviously can submit me, But I would not hit a guy that I could.
Yeah, but you would knock him out with that right hand. So,
yeah, just throw that bomb.
Speaking of which, okay, so we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Vinc Pichel, he's 200 pounds. No, so
I like grilled cheese.
So Sarah, a couple things. So your last fight, you dominated the first round. You were totally killing the girl in the first round. It was, and then in the second round, she caught you. How rocked were you in that second round?
So it wasn't that I was necessarily rocked. It was really more that I had watched her film, and I knew that when if she connected well, she has a good killer instinct, and I respected it. So I was like, man, if she connects well with a strike, she's going to then unload a barrage of punches. And you just so you can either back out of range, which I'm not very good at. Moving backwards. I think it's part of the wrestler in me that always either wants to stand my ground or move forward, or I could shell up, or I could reattack. And so I already decided what kind of personality I have and what kind of temperament I have. And I even knew going into it, if I see her and I see her flip the switch and try to come after me, I'm just going to meet it with everything I have. So it was a well-connected punch. But it didn't, like I was, it didn't I didn't have a flash of stars. I didn't have a whatever. I just felt a good connection, like,
Right.
I don't know how else to describe it. Like when you get hit hard, there's like 10 different things that ways your body can react. Like sometimes your legs go out. Sometimes I've heard like a gong in my head, like
hear a crunch.
and all different types. And this one, I was just like good connection. Like it was solid, grounded connection. So I saw her flip the switch and start coming after me. So I just came right back after her. And I was like, not stop until you take her down. That was the command in my head.
Right. Now, so then you take her down, you end up in her guard, and she throws up a triangle. Now, I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu, honestly. I know very basic stuff. But it did seem people were saying, how could Sara not defend that? Blah, blah, blah. It was a lot of people were like, I guess, experts in how to defend that triangle and said that you didn't defend it right. Was there something that you could have done differently, or if you had to go back?
So, no, there is something I could have done differently, but I'm not accustomed. I have a certain like sequence of defenses, and she had gotten it up, like she got the triangle in. She had a very deep bite on it. When someone who is a black belt in jiu-jitsu gets a deep on a submission, your options are very limited in what you can do. And what I tried to do to defend it was to sit my hips in and put my legs over the front part of her. And that is more of a last-ditch effort. That means you're in trouble. And to be perfectly honest, I had never tried that in any competition. I had never even really done that in practice. Uriah and I had worked that as a last-ditch effort, a couple different times during this camp. But I've never even done it live in sparring. So when I threw my leg over, what I didn't know was there's one leg that is more key to get over top of the person than the other leg, and I threw the wrong leg over. So there obviously needs to be adaptations, but I don't normally get that deep in a lot of people's triangles, and if as guys, and I don't even get to that line of defense, they're so much stronger, they sink it so quickly that before I even try that defense, I'm already having the tap. So I was just inexperienced with that specific, but I thought, well, this is getting tighter and tighter. I'm gonna try that rather than, go out. So there is some merit that they think that I should have known how to defend that exactly. But they also have to take into account that I then have to continue to have the wrestling skills I have. I have to learn no-gi jiu-jitsu. I have to learn ground and pound. I have to learn to defend everything from there. I have to learn knees and elbows. I have to learn to defend knees and elbows. And I have to learn striking, and I have to learn all different types of kicks. So
Sounds
in MMA, you're spread a little bit thin, and they don't understand that because they don't do it.
Right.
And everybody's like, if you were a jiu-jitsu person, you're like, oh, in jiu-jitsu, I could do this. Well, of course you do, because you don't have to defend against the elbows that she was throwing at me while I was in the midst of this. You don't have to defend against any other attacks that come from there, and you don't do any of this stuff on your feet. So you say this, and that is the correct defense, but there's a little caveat, you're not doing it under the same conditions that I'm doing it under. So,
right. Yeah, is that right?
they are
Just
uneducated.
jiu-jitsu. Right. Now, couldn't you have just stood up and just slammed her on her head, like Rampage style against Arona back in, is that a possibility? No?
So that is a possibility. But what happened was that she had people don't understand this, but as a wrestler, I think you'll understand it. What happens when I'm pulling somebody's head down if they're trying to do a proper stand-up? If their chin is tucked and they're looking at the ground, can they stand up well?
No, probably not.
It's when you have that. No, it's when your head is already up. The first thing you're doing if you're going to do a stand-up in wrestling or anything, your head is up, and then your hips are underneath you, and then you can stand up.
Right.
Nobody does a squat with their head buried down with their chin to their chest. You don't, because it's extremely difficult to do.
No, my first day of jiu-jitsu class, I did that. Someone put me in a triangle, and I picked him up. And they were like, what the fuck? I think it was Mac Danzig you can't do that. I'm like, no, I saw on TV.
I did the same thing. Hanato was trying to pin me, and I up-kicked him. And he got
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, Sara, yeah. Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was going to say, some of the things they're saying are that is a valuable technique. And if you are sitting on the sidelines, you could say, oh, just do this. oh, okay, well, why don't I just knock her out? If it's just, oh, just do this. Like, yeah, that'd be great. It'd be great to do all these things and you have all these ideas. But if you're not in there and you don't feel what the person is doing and you don't feel it day in and day out, you know, a good jiu-jitsu practitioner would know how difficult it is to stand when someone's, you know, hanging all their weight on your head.
I mean, like I'm talking, if I was your coach, I'd be like, Sarah, here's the good and bad news. The good news is that you've been winning 99% of your fights. The bad news is that 1% you keep getting caught in some fucking bullshit. But the good news is that you're not getting dominated. You're actually dominating the other person. It's just that fucking one mental glitch of like, you know. But
so and that, if I'm gonna look at myself realistically, that's, you know, something that's happened throughout even my wrestling career. You know, like it's not like my hesitation or reservation. Some people have a problem with pulling the trigger. I have a problem with paying too deep for my errors. And so all I did is the same thing that I'm doing in wrestling, which is go back to the drawing board, work a ridiculous amount on my jiu-jitsu to where it is, I just have to become like more of a perfectionist at that and like recognize when I'm getting into a position way, way earlier. Everything's easier to fight whenever you recognize it earlier. I just happen to get caught way too deep in something before my defenses kicked in. You know, it's not like it's not a huge error, but it's a costly one against somebody who's either has dominant position or is good in that area. Triangles are, you know, very, very, if you look at any of her other fights, she throws up a lot of very slick, very fast triangles. I wasn't unaware of it. It's just that just as she wasn't unaware of my takedowns, but guess what happened? She got taken down.
Yeah,
so
no, I mean, look,
it's hard to stop people's best moves.
And you're honestly like 1 or 2 fights away from being right back in the title picture. You know, you're right there, Sarah.
Well, I mean,
you know.
So another thing that most people don't know, and I don't even really ever mention it, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I don't like to make excuses, but I'm going to take a little bit of time before I get back into that because I have to heal some injuries that have been plaguing me that I thought I can just, you know, work through, that it is just no longer the case. And I need to stop and work on myself as an athlete and then get back to myself as a fighter.
Okay. All right. Okay. I understand. Was it a Kegel exercise, like the vagina?
Yeah, right. Are you kidding me?
No. Okay. I know your vagina is very tight. I've heard. No, not from anybody. I'm just from. That's just the word on the street. Is that you have a?
Listen,
you have a.
There's not one freaking part of my body that isn't tight. So
that's good. You might have got a silver medal in the Olympics, but you have a gold medal vagina. That's just so you know. It's the greatest.
Stupid.
It's the greatest vagina. Now, you're a good person to ask. So Vince is fighting this guy, Gerald Gillespie. Gregor Gillespie, who is a Division I national champion, 4-time All-American. I took Vince to my middle school wrestling practice. He didn't know one move. he was like the worst. Like he was the worst kid on the team. So
I went there to learn. Okay.
Yeah. So what would you? Well, Vince has to win this. Okay. So you being on the other side, what advice would you give to Vince?
To beat the wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay, if I was honestly going to advise somebody not knowing any of their skill set, I would say you better run. You better keep him on the end of your punches and jab him to death, but don't let him get his hands on you because you better hope that his boxing is not nearly as sharp as yours. But if you're...
It's not.
Well, Vince has 12 wins with 9 knockouts, so he's got serious power.
I love how every time my record always changes with you.
Yeah. I'm saying that, like, if somebody has been doing, like, you can hit a wrestler and borderline knock them unconscious. They're going to grab you and take you down. I mean, like, just it's so much real, instinct. So don't let them touch you. That's the way to stay on your feet.
See, now I feel like that's biased because she's a wrestler.
Well, yeah, of course, she's a wrestler, but you know, it's good though. Look, she's accomplished a lot more than fucking Gregor Gillespie has. All right, This girl went on the international level.
No. NCAA's is
Bullshit.
an unbelievably tough
Anyone can do
tournament.
that.
But
And we're in the
What?
Olympics.
Anyone could win a fucking NCAA. Come on, give me a break. You're an Olympian.
I could win one.
Yeah, come on. It was too. That's why I quit wrestling Division III. It was too easy. I was, but well, yes. So all right. Well, we are rooting for Vince on this team. Okay, I'm going against my fellow wrestlers. So so Sarah, any more kids on the way? What do you think?
I do want another kid. So I'm gonna have to figure that out pretty soon.
All right.
But
All right.
that's
like
the
it.
idea. But I've been practicing a lot. No, just joking.
I love this girl. I swear to God. Why couldn't we have met 10 years ago?
I still would have rejected you.
Wow. What'd she say?
She said I still would have rejected you.
Oh, absolutely. But I would totally tap to your triangle. Okay. Well, listen, Sarah, I'm going to be in Sacramento April 4th. Hopefully you'll be at the show again. I'm a huge fan. Like I said, you win, you lose. You're a winner in life. You've already accomplished so much, but you're going to accomplish more. I know you could be the UFC champion. I know it. And thanks for coming on the podcast.
I believe it too.
So,
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. See you guys.
Bye. All right. That was Sara McMann. You have to go? Yeah. Fuck.
Pause it. We'll just pause it.
Pause it.
What is it? Monkey God?
The Monkey God. All right, so we're calling the Monkey God right now.
I want to know the story behind his nickname.
Yeah, okay, we will.
Hello.
Hello, is this the Monkey God?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good. How you're on the MMA Roasted Podcast? It's me, Vinc Pichel.
What up?
Weendawg. Alan Jouban just left. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just got done with a little run. Now I'm chilling with the dogs.
Nice. How many dogs you got?
3.
Damn.
2 pits and a Rottweiler.
Nice. And how old are you, by the way?
I am 24 years old, going on 25 in May.
May what?
2nd.
On May 20th. Now, do you live by yourself with 3 dogs?
No, I actually live with my coach. His name is James Lee. He's fought in Pride, Pancrase, the UFC, you name it.
Jamie Lee, huh?
James Lee, yeah, he's a beast.
Nice. So you live with your coach. You got 3 dogs. You're living out in Indiana?
No, I actually train out of Detroit, Michigan. I live in White Lake. It's a little suburb of Detroit.
Damn, from the hood.
But oh yeah, I train on the Van Dyke, Warren, 8 Mile.
Fuck yeah. Now I was watching your fights, man. So you were 12-0 going into your last fight in Brazil. I watched that fight this morning. You got robbed, dude. Like, you won the first 2 rounds. Third round, okay, I kind of gave it to the other guy. But it was easy. Even Cormier even said you won the first 2.
Yeah. That's in the past. Right now, I really could give a fuck about Davison until after this fight. And then I'm going to call Davison back out, and then we're going to run it back.
Yeah.
He's in the spot where I was supposed to be. He's 13-0 now. And, I hopefully he wins, because that'll just get me closer to where I need to be. So
now, who are you fighting coming up and when?
His name is Hector Sandoval. He's a little 5'2" guy coming out of Alpha Male. He's pretty experienced. He's had 4 fights in the UFC. He's fought Wilson Hayes, Dustin Ortiz. He got beat by him, but I'm not going to look past him. Anybody is dangerous in the octagon in the first 2 minutes, so not really worried about what the fuck he's doing. I'm just going to go out there and do me.
And when is this fight?
It's June 1st. It's in Utica, New York.
Oh, you're fighting the same card as me.
Yeah, Vince is on that card also.
I'll be on that card too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. So yeah.
Now that fight was, by the way, though, so he fought in Brazil. It was complete bullshit. But he did rock you, or he did connect. I wouldn't say he rocked you. Were you rocked in that 3rd round at all?
No, I was just tired, man. That was the only really thing. I didn't work my conditioning too much. I mean, I'm really talented, man. I just gotta put in the hard work. And it's not it's not a talent issue. It's just a hard work
Where in
issue.
Brazil
And
was it?
When
Were
I
you
put in that
altitude?
hard work, you'll see me with a title.
Dude, I believe it. You were 28-1 as an amateur, which is a lot of, and you won 10 titles. A lot of amateur experience. Do you think that's good or bad? And would you recommend people having that kind of amateur? Do you think you spent too much time? Or talk to me about that, because that's very interesting.
How many was there?
28-1 as an amateur.
Well, my whole life I've been fighting, so I've been around the sport my whole life. 1993 is when the UFC came out. That's when I was born, so I pretty much grew up with the sport. And I used to have fights in my garages and stuff like that when I was like 9 years old. Hold fights on Mondays, Tuesdays. But yeah, I had a lot of amateur fights. All those guys were pretty tough, but I usually finished them in the first round. Just went out there, and a lot of people that are amateurs didn't have jiu-jitsu. I was training jiu-jitsu, and I was a pretty good wrestler. So
Yeah, well, you're a tough guy from Indiana.
How long of a time span was this? You had all these amateur fights.
what did you say?
How long was the time span of all of your amateur fights? Like, was it like a year or 2 years that you've had?
Oh no, I've been fighting since I was 15 years old. So
Oh, okay.
Fuck, man. Now, how did you do wrestling in high school?
I was a state champion my senior year, and then I wrestled a little bit in college. I was ranked number 1 in the nation at 119 coming out of high school. Wow. But I wasn't really a student. I just really wanted to fight, so I told my dad that I'm not going to school yet. I'm just going to fight and focus on, winning a world championship, my dream. So it's not really about money for me. It's about going out there and beating somebody's ass and taking names and winning a world title at the end.
Your college coach must have been thrilled. I'd be so fucking pissed. I got the number 1 kid in the country, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to go fight," but I would understand. But that must have been hard for your coach.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, Notre Dame was just more of like, I don't know. There's a bunch of misfits over there. I really didn't fit in either.
That's where you went to Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Wow. How long did you last there?
Oh, I was there for like not even a half of a year and just straight dropped out. I did not want to do that.
This is my kind of kid. I like this guy. Now, all right. Now, I read about your tweet to Sean O'Malley. It seems like he like rubbed you the wrong way. He's not even in your weight class, is he? I think you're 125. He's 140.
No, he's 135.
Okay, so what's up with O'Malley? How come you don't like him?
He's a big 35 pounder, and he's talented. He's straight talented. I can't take anything away from the dude, but at the same time, he's just using a lot of things just to get there, and a lot of people are not seeing the real shit that happens in the octagon. So, I mean, I understand the show business, but he's just fighting for money. He's selling his soul. So, at that point, I'm coming out here to put on a show and make myself, better at the end of the day. So, I mean, he probably has a little bit of the same attributes, but I just think he's in it for the money, and that's going to show later on in his career.
Now, would you want to fight him?
Yes, I would love to fight Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is not that good at wrestling. I mean, he's probably long, so he's a jiu-jitsu guy, but I'm going to get plenty guys that are way better than him that are longer. And yeah, of course, the dude has a tremendous amount of reach on me, but if I hit him, he's going to realize it. And I haven't showed literally any of my abilities in the octagon just because I haven't put in the work, and that's it. So when I put in the work, you'll see a world champion.
What do you mean you haven't put in the work?
I'm a hard worker when I go in, but I've barely gone to practice, just not really, giving a fuck after that fight. So, and then I have a 2.5 months coming up here. So I'm going to go out and put in the work, and then you guys are going to see it, and you're going to be like, damn, this is a different Jared Brooks.
Well, dude, I mean, you're 13-1 with 10 world titles as an amateur. You're obviously no one's doubting your skill, but I'm just interested because I never hear that side. I never really hear a guy say I haven't put in the work. So I know most of our fans probably don't put in work either. So
It's not enough. You know what I'm saying? It's just not enough.
So you're going to one practice a day. You're like slacking. You're not cutting the weight. You're not doing the cardio. Is that you're smoking weed? You're partying. You're fucking bitches. Like, is that what you mean? Or what do you mean?
No, it ain't even that. I'm not smoking weed or going out and fucking bitches. I have a girlfriend and she's awesome. She works 2 jobs and pretty much does whatever I want, and I do whatever she wants. So she's cool. But besides that, no, it's just just chilling. A fighter's life, man. A lot of people think that. I'm not bringing this up, but like white people, they think that they just have it all handed to them, and it hasn't been handed to me. My whole life has been, really, really hard, just financially and shit like that. So when you get a fight, I just got paid $12,000. So half of that goes to my managers and coaches and shit like that. Then I got to pay taxes. So it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to go back and forth. So you're pretty much budgeting to try to get to where you are.
So yeah, so you're saying you're making $4,000 for a fight. By the time you clear everything it's like $3,000. So instead of putting that extra time into training, do you have a day job?
No, dude. I literally just train all day, and I'm really good at budgeting. So,
all right.
I mean, it's hard to make it to some practices, but I know how to put in the work at home, but I just haven't. So, I've changed that in the past 2 weeks. As soon as I learned how I had to fight, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit feeling sorry for myself. Go out there and beat someone's ass.
Vince, what are your feelings about this kid?
I like him, honestly.
I love the honesty.
Yeah, I love it. And I can relate to a lot of it, except for the not having a job part.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks, man. Like we put so much into our life, into fighting and stuff, and like he said, we get half our money typically, like a little more than half.
Yeah.
After everything.
How much weight? How much weight do you cut?
I don't cut any weight. I'm literally probably 133 right now.
And you're fighting at 35?
Cutting that out.
25.
Oh, 25?
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's easy, man.
I was at your first.
And the thing is, I can grow into the division with time. You know what I'm saying? All these guys are depleting themselves, and then by the time they're 30 years old, they have to go up a weight. I'm here.
What are you? What belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
I'm a blue belt, but I can literally sub black belts all day. Good black belts. Yeah, I understand the process to getting a black belt. I mean, yeah, that takes a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work, and I'm not honing those guys' skills, but I'm not putting down my skills at all. I believe in myself 100%.
Right. So you're saying you could walk into any gym in America and sub black belts?
I mean, it's depending on the black belt. Like, I mean, I'm saying good black belts around my size, yeah, but I understand. Like, I'm not going to sit there and try to sub James. James is going to sub me all day, and he's a brown belt.
What about you versus Marcelo Garcia? You versus Marcelo Garcia. How do you
in a gi match?
Yeah, in a EBI match.
What the fuck? What kind of question is that shit? Marcelo fucking Garcia?
I'm fucking with
you. You're talking about the best of the best besides Ricardo Laborio. Ricardo Laborio is a fucking animal. But besides that, yeah, I would not beat Marcelo Garcia in a gi match. Probably not.
All right.
Probably never.
What about you versus Dylan Dennis?
Who was that?
All right. What about you? Okay.
That's what I was
What
gonna
about
say.
you versus Brian Caraway?
Brian Caraway, come on.
Brian
Caraway sucks.
Caraway's. Hey,
you know why? Hey, you know why Cody Stamen stuffed all of Brian Caraway's takedowns? Because he had to try to stuff my takedowns.
Wait. You think Stamen?
I trained with Cody Stamen.
Yeah. And wait, you think Caraway does not suck? Come on. He beat Aljamain Sterling.
You're talking, yeah, but Aljamain might have had a hard weight cut like he does it every time.
Yeah, but Caraway's good. He's really good. Come on. He does not suck.
I'm not going to hone the guy's skills, but if you're telling me if I can beat Brian Caraway, I'm going to beat Brian Caraway.
All right, so who...
I'm pretty realistic with that kind of shit.
All right, who do you think wins, Dillashaw or Demetrius Johnson?
Good question. I would probably say, Demetrius Johnson is coming off a shoulder injury, so I'd probably say right now TJ. And if DJ has 9 weeks to train, he'll pick apart anybody.
So, Monkey God, from what I hear, you teach jiu-jitsu, you call your students little monkeys, therefore you're the Monkey God, right?
Yeah.
See?
Oh, that's how you got his name. So wait, you gave yourself your nickname?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. I mean, the nickname's cool, but that's kind of gay.
I didn't even know what it meant, dude. I swear to God, it just came upon me one day, and I was like, all right. And then I started looking up the actual monkey god. His name is Hanuman. It's a Hindu religion god, and it's actually pretty good with my manifestation. I don't know if you guys know anything about like manifestation and shit.
No, what is that?
Tell us.
What is that? Did you hear me?
Teach us, Monkey God.
Okay, well, Hanuman, he is the god of perseverance, strength, and determination. And he defeated the god Rama. He's a 7-headed god from, I'm pretty sure, I forget where the fuck it is. But yeah, he's pretty much a 7-headed devil god that was pretty much made from the government. Because that's what all religion is. It's just like stories of the government.
Huh. All right. Well, listen, Monkey God. I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fan of yours. I like the confidence. I like the chip on the shoulder. You got a fucking poor kid from Indiana making his way. The kid takes no shit from anybody.
Bringing his monkeys.
I'm a fan. Fucking do the work. All right. None of this.
I'm a fan of you too, man. I've watched a lot of your stand-up.
Oh, thanks,
you're a funny motherfucker.
Oh, thank you, Monkey God. Do the work though. I don't want to hear what if. Okay. You're right there,
exactly.
bro. You're right there, man. I mean, you're 13-1. You're right there. You could be the champion.
Yep.
I mean, DJ's got to fall. So everyone's beatable. Everybody. So.
Yep.
So Monkey God.
That's my mindset on everything, man. And I appreciate you guys, and thank you for having me on the show finally. And I always listen to you and Justin Scoggins' interviews and stuff like that. And I was just like, damn, I'm ready to be on this show. So I appreciate it, bro.
Anytime, brother. Take care, man.
Later on.
Yep. All right. The Monkey God.
He's a pretty funny guy. I like listening to him.
I feel like I can't tell if he likes me or hates me. I like his confidence, though, man. And you know what? The kid earned it. I mean, you don't.
Well, you have to have a certain sense of confidence to be a fighter. You know what I mean? Like you can't go there and be like, "Oh, I'm such a pussy," but maybe I'll beat this guy.
But some guys are have more self doubt than others. Yeah. This dude's just like, fuck it, put him in front of me, I'll beat him.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go into a gym and just tap black belts though. I don't think that's fabrication.
I would love to be there though. Like, I would love to see it. Yeah. I mean, his size though, he's 125.
Yeah, well, a black belt his size.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. You think he could tap black belts his size? He's been fighting since he was 15.
Yeah, but then also too, like he's from Illinois, like what
Indiana?
Or Indiana, yeah. The degree of black belts that are like there that he can train with, like
aren't as good. You think?
Are they like pity black belts, or are they like legit black belts?
If he's fighting with Cody Stamen, training with Stamen, and the guy who just fought Caraway is a Division I wrestler, and the guy who beat Terrion. He's obviously got some good guys. His trainer is. We got to look up his trainer, but you're right though. I mean,
I'm just wondering, like, what black belts is he like wrecking like that? You know what I mean? Like
he just says, well, he basically said I tap black belts all day, is what he said, and then I turned it to he can go to any gym and tap black belts. He didn't exactly say he could go to any gym and tap black belts, but
I mean, like I've caught black belts, but like I mean, I don't want to say out of pure sheer luck, but you know what I mean? Like you just get lucky sometimes, you catch it sometimes.
I think a lot of times also, like I remember going into a gym one time and the guy was a D1 wrestler and I like threw him on his head doing like a Japanese arm throw because he had no idea that I knew wrestling. Like, but if he would like, oh shit, this guy wrestled before, I would not have caught him. You know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times you can catch people when they think that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Although a good black belt probably assumes, everybody's good. Sometimes,
yeah,
but
they won't sandbag with anyone. Yeah, a good black belt wouldn't sandbag with anyone.
But a lot of times, as far as wrestlers go, I've seen like the best wrestler in his jiu-jitsu class who just beats up his fellow teammates, and then a real wrestler comes in and he's like, oh fuck. But he assumes when you come in that you're just going to be another one of the schmucks in his class.
Yeah.
You know, and then I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's just like what you're around.
That honestly happens in every aspect of MMA too. Like I've been at gyms where I'm like rolling jits with guys, you know what I mean? They're really good, and then we'll go other places and see, like, you know what I mean? It's happened to me where I'll go to places like my gym where I get real good, you know what I mean? Then I'll venture out to kind of get my ass kicked sometimes because
Yeah, you have to. They always say you never want to be the best guy in the gym.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like being the best person.
I hate it, dude.
Are you? You ever been the
probably
best
have
person?
extreme issues with that, I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, no, I'm not the best person at 10th Planet Burbank by far, no, but I've been going there for a while now. I've been training no-gi for almost 2 years, and the thing was with like 10th Planet Burbank, we just get like a new cycle of people that come in like every other month. You know what I'm saying? So I've stuck around there, so I'm a little bit more advanced than most of the people there.
Yeah.
But there's those people that have been there longer than me that are just killers, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was there one time when this guy came in, and you looked at his ears, you're like, oh shit, this guy's trained before. But he was like a white guy, and then the teacher was like, hey, he's like, I'm in town, whatever. And he's like, have you trained before? He's like, just NHB, which is like no holds barred or something, or like.
Oh my god.
So like, but that's like old school, and he just fucked everyone up. Like he did like. He was
like
just,
punch him in the nuts and shit, or
no,
like
but just like
wise?
take people down and just arm triangle them, just basic arm triangles.
Really?
But he was so good, and I guess he had a couple fights before. He fought back in the day.
Yeah.
Like he
see,
was,
there's guys like that. There's guys that like they have tricks, and everyone knows their tricks, but then it's like good luck fucking stopping them. Like there's people that are so good at certain things, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. No, it's true. Right, of course. I mean, wrestling wise, like I went for that outside single every single time, and my coach was like, if I was wrestling you, I would know exactly what you were doing. But he's like, but at the same time, the opponent, the other guys don't know it. You know, the guys you wrestle in matches don't know it.
Yep.
But now the problem with that is, as a 40-year-old, is that it was a speed move. So now I can't get it anymore.
That lack of speed.
I don't. That's the first thing to go is your fucking speed. Like I wish the front headlock was my move or some kind of like strength move, because that's the last to go. Like I'm like I see it now. I just can't do it.
You adapt. You just gotta adapt somehow. Just find some way to cut out steps to make it faster.
I have to. It's just a matter of just going for like a month straight. I'd be fine. It's just getting there. Right now I'm doing Krav Maga because I have like another 3 months free, which is fun.
What do you think about it?
Look, it's good for exercise, like as far as guys holding pads for you, punches. It's more of a Muay Thai stance than like a boxing stance, which is kind of cool. It's just I do mostly like speed bag 60, where it's like 60 minutes of just not speed bag,
like
but just
Tabata kind of shit. Where you're just
body
cardio in.
Cardio. I think that as far as like they're teaching people, they're giving people a false confidence of what to do when there's a knife attack or a gun attack, because they're doing it. Okay, a guy pulls a knife on you. You want to hit him right in the wrist, get him to drop. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these like soccer moms in this class, and I'm like, good luck. And the teacher even said, hey, if a guy pulls a gun on you, give him your wallet. But let's just say, you're with your loved one and you have to defend yourself. But he kind of gives that disclaimer. But I'm like, these people are way too confident in these situations than they should be.
My sister is putting her boy, she has a son, Vincent, and she's putting him in Krav Maga. And like, I was talking to her the other week, and like she told me about it, and I was like, whoa. I was like, why don't you put him in wrestling or jiu-jitsu or like kickboxing? She's like, no, his Krav Maga's good. The guy tells me this and that. Someone attacks him to defend himself and this and that. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, take him out, put him in fucking jiu-jitsu, put him in wrestling, put him in kickboxing, put him in something that's like actually usable, like in life. She's like, what's wrong with Krav Maga? And I'm like, well, not that it's bad. Like there's some stuff that's useful, but in a real life situation, like if he's in a situation, like chances are, like Krav Maga, you can do shit for him. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna.
Well, the good thing about Krav Maga is it teaches you like dirty tactics.
Yeah,
like kicking in the balls.
Fighting. However, if you get into someone who actually knows anything, like Krav Maga, like you're gonna get your ass kicked. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's a reason that there's not been one person in the UFC whose background is Krav Maga.
Yeah, it's a soccer mom skill is basically what it is to me. And I'm sure there's guys out there that are going to talk shit. Krav Maga's the world and da-da-da-da, but you're full of shit.
No, it's okay. It's okay. As long as you know other things. I think if you just go and just know Krav Maga.
As long as it's mixed with stuff, then it's okay. But I feel like any kind of like street fight or any kind of fight, like the basic cornerstones are kickboxing, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. Like those are the three things that will help you even if you just know one of them, it'll help you in typically in a street fight.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that your nephew is also named Vince?
Yeah, his name's Vincent too.
What the hell? That's awesome. I wish my nephew was named Weendawg.
With a lack of creativity in that family.
Simple but effective.
Mom's name is Vincent. Like,
no, actually, let me see. Oh no, that's not. But you know what my mom did when she named all of us? Because I have on my mom's side, there's 5 of us, so me and I got 4 siblings, and my dad's they're the same, there's 5. But my mom named all of us, so all of our names have 6 syllables.
oh, wow.
Which was like I thought it was weird. And I don't know why I picked up on that. But like I picked up on it one day, I asked my mom about it, and I'm like,
wait, how does Vince have 6 syllables?
Vincent Alan Pichel is my name.
Oh, you
so
combine
6
them.
syllables. Our full names.
Yeah. I was like, Vincent. How are you saying it? Like,
no. My full name's Vincent.
it'd be funny, like on Christmas, like everyone's name's Vincent. No one knows who,
who's getting what
gift is for what.
Damn, that's not for that, Vincent.
So, Weendawg, what do you have coming up?
Dude, I got some major announcements. First of all, this might be the biggest one, but I just ordered the UFC 3 video game.
Nice.
I'll be streaming it. But the thing is, if they don't add my boy Vinc Pichel in the game,
why aren't I in there yet?
If they don't add him in there in the next patch, I'm gonna jump out the window, dude.
Don't do that.
Freak out.
Well, you live on the ground floor. So
I do live on the ground floor, so I won't be too damaged. Second of all, I started the Weendawg Nation Facebook group. Go ahead, everybody, go join the group.
Shit.
I joined the group. I think I'm the only one though.
I actually made a page
You
and
and
a
me?
group. I didn't know a page and a group are 2 different things.
okay.
So the official one,
yeah.
the official one is the group, the Weendawg Nation group. Other than that, dude. Oh yeah, another major announcement. Remember when
These are huge fucking announcements.
Remember when my penis started? It was just like shedding its skin.
Yes.
I found the solution, dude.
What was it?
One of our biggest fans of the MMA Roasted Podcast, his name is Brandon. He messaged me and he said, "Dude, I had the same exact thing happen."
Oh my
to me.
God.
I'm like, "What the fuck is it?" He's like, "What happens is you just jerk off too much and it just irritates your skin." And I think a combination of that and using the dollar store condoms that don't have much lubrication might have.
How much are you jerking off?
Dude, we don't gotta go there now, but it's a lot, dude.
I mean, I don't feel like I mean.
But this is embarrassing. Of all the things you told us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just glad that it's not an STD. Cause
Is it 5 times a day?
I mean, there's days where it is like that. I mean, once again, I'm on TRT. It makes me super horny.
Right.
You know, so sometimes it's got to go hard, dude.
Gotta beat that fucker like it owes you money.
You're
Sometimes
not going hard because you're soft in 3 minutes. So Vince, those are all amazing things. I'm happy that your dick's okay and that you have a Facebook group. Vince, what do you have coming up? Can you match this?
I feel like such a worthless piece of shit next to the Weendawg stories sometimes.
Yes.
Man. He has such interesting stories and they fucking kill me.
Interesting.
I love it.
Yeah, if you're a fucking pedophile.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got my fight June 1st, fighting Greg Gillespie in Utica, New York.
Yes.
I got that. I've just been training right now. That's about it, man. You know what, dude? I talked to Al Davis from Taft. I want to give Al Davis a shout out and everyone at Taft. Say thank you for giving me time off of work again.
The Raiders coach?
No. Is his name Al
Davis?
Al Davis too?
Old.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, how funny. No, different guy, different relation. They do actually kind of look similar too. Now that I think about it.
Nice.
But yeah, he let me take time off, which is awesome. Lets me get that training time in for my fights, get prepared for it. So huge thank you for.
Now, are you going to try? Now, I gave you. I called Kenny Johnson, Bubba, and Alan for you, and Jake Ellenberger.
Oh yeah, I forgot to hit him
they
up.
all said that you can. They'd love to train with you. Ellenberger trains with Pico, Aaron Pico. Who's
does he?
The #1 wrestler.
Go out there in Black House?
No, he's out in Orange County.
Okay.
He said Mark Munoz has 2 days a week wrestling out in Orange County.
Oh, at Rain? Is that
Yeah,
gym,
like
right?
the old Rain or something. Now it's something else. Bubba said he would love to train you, but it's going to cost you money.
Is it gonna cost me money?
Yeah. He said he wouldn't do it for free.
Well, pay you in takedowns.
So, but Alan and them said you could take Bubba's class, teach his class over there at Black House. So that would be cheaper. But Bubba said he'll give you private lessons, private wrestling.
Oh, I don't want private lessons.
But like from he goes, it's not gonna be free. And I said that's between you and I'm not like brokering these fucking deals. But at the same time, but then I thought to myself, you know what? Whatever you're doing is winning. So why the fuck am I gonna what now I'm gonna put you with wrestlers and then if you lose, I'm gonna feel responsible. So I don't want to fuck up whatever's winning. So that's kind of
well, in all reality, like, I mean, this might sound kind of bad and conceited, but I feel like I'm above paying for privates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna train with guys, not that you know what I mean. I don't want to talk shit, but like, I'm at a level now where I'd more rather train with guys who are at my level and be in a group, you know, with guys in class.
Well, you can take his class over at Black House. I'm just saying. I'm like, well, do I want him to go over there because what you're doing seems to be working for you? So then I'm like, yeah, I'll just stay out of it. Maybe I'm trying to help too much.
Yeah, well, honestly, my schedule's fucking all over, man. Like, I've never had the same camp schedule since I've been in the UFC. I've always just been all over. And I think that's just because when Big John's closed, that's kind of when that happened.
Yeah.
But, because that was my one-stop shop. But now, like, I just love going everywhere. You know what I mean? My shit is crazy.
So maybe you should go.
I mean,
they said they would welcome you with open arms.
I would love.
They couldn't believe you're fighting Gillespie. Like, their eyes opened up.
Yeah. A lot of people are counting me out in this fight.
But not me, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that.
Hell no. Hell fucking no. By the way, if you're a fan of Vince, go team. You want Team Vince over Gillette? Hashtag Team Vince. VINC. What should we? What's our hashtag?
We gonna make up a hashtag?
Yeah.
The one I like using is the Savage Patch Kid one, but we could do like Team from Hell.
Team from Hell.
Team from Hell.
So if you're a listener to the podcast and you're on Vince's team, hashtag Team from Hell. Okay, so show Vince your support.
Or should it be like something talking shit about?
Well, some people are like giving you backhanded compliments. They're like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a 10-1 underdog. I'm definitely gonna fucking put money on you. Like what the fuck is that?
Thanks, guy.
Yeah, dude, no one believes in you. I got money on you.
You know, when I fought Njokwon, I had a lot of people who were doubting me in that fight too. And I had this one friend, Jose, who trained with me. Old school, another guy, Joe, an Old Town guy, and they were both like, "Oh, we're gonna bet money on you, yada yada." I'm like, "Sweet." I'm like, "Yeah, put some fucking money on me." And this dude Joe, he's kind of like, he's a cool guy, but he's like a little shifty sometimes. So I'm like, "Oh, whatever." So this dude Jose bets on me, Jose doesn't, and then Joe doesn't. Jose bets on me. He tells me, he's like, "Yeah, you fucking won me like $3,000, yada yada." This guy, he gave me $500.
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck yeah, awesome." And then I went to the gym and I'd seen Joe and I was like, "What's up, Joe? How much money did you make off me?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't place a bet." I'm like, "Oh, you didn't?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "Check this out." I pulled out the watch. I made $500. Fuck, Jose gave me $500, dude.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, listen, people, I'm at the Long Beach Laugh Factory tomorrow night with Jeremy Piven doing stand-up comedy. I'm in Bakersfield at Me Peru this Friday night doing comedy with Tom Galicchio and Leslie Smith. Saturday night, Hollywood Laugh Factory, 9:15. And then Sacramento Laughs, April 4th. San Diego Comedy Palace, April 13th and 14th. And then I'm at Harvey's in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to see Paige Van Zandt and her boyfriend are coming to the show. April 26th to the 29th at Harvey's. And then Naples, Florida at Off the Hook Comedy Club, April 4th to the 6th. Thank you, everyone who's been on the show. Thank you, Monkey God. Thank you, Sara McMann. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Vince. Weendawg, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Weendawg.
Take care.
Thank you.
Trap sonsen, trap sonsen, trap dansen. Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Даадаж дуудан дур булаа мууруулаа.